friends.
It's Craig.
I want a buddy cop
Welcome
movie
back,
with
Craig.
Craig and Chad. Craig, you're fine with that. Say nothing, you're fine with that.
No,
This
it would just be
summer.
me doing everything and just listening.
How dare you? You value what he brings to your partnership.
Whatever, you take me down in court for sure.
He
He
remembers
said,
everything.
and I quote, Craig, he's a liar. He's a liar, son of a bitch. Never trust a robot.
We trust
That's
Bryce.
gonna age so poorly.
You guys might
Yeah, how
trust
dare
Bryce. Bye. You guys let your guards down. It's on you.
I like that. Like, we never question if Maverick's a robot, even though he's my brother. Like, you just don't seem to question that part of his backstory.
No. Why would we?
Oh, every time you said brother, I've always been putting it in quotes.
He's
That might be
he's
the
my
problem.
brother in the way Pinocchio has a father.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Picturing you always doing air quotes.
It's like in the movie Robots, where the baby shows up and the parents build the robot together. It was like that in Maverick's childhood.
Yeah, I got to build my older sister.
I mean, well, that doesn't make sense because, like, shouldn't I have been there? Like, your
No,
older
they
brother.
didn't build you. You were
got
like
to
a
be
tiny
there.
baby. That'd be weird. They built you up, and you were just so happened to be a couple of years older, and like the memories they had programmed were just like, you know, they were there already. There was a lot of work your parents did, and you shouldn't undermine it. That's all I'm saying.
If you think about it too much, you'll just snap.
yeah, we're entering 404 territory here.
Which is why I don't trust robots.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Do it.
Put him
Say
on
it
the
to his
list.
face.
Put 'em on. I posted the music.
I'll pray for you. Okay.
Take it back.
No.
I've got my music going.
Everyone
Dear
get to
patriarchal Lord who art
Yes.
in heaven,
YouTube,
And
Spotify.
his white safe son Jesus. Please bless Bryce's lack of a soul.
It's like it's gonna be a spicy game today.
We're starting out strong. We're not even in game yet.
There's tension in the
Already.
group
Yeah,
already.
there's tension already. My work here is done.
That's it. Save
Let's
the
go be a
Strixhaven.
team.
All right, everyone take a knee.
I do still find it hilarious how like we got a bunch of money and almost everyone spent it immediately.
Well, that's what it's for, ain't it?
To be honest,
Okay.
the only reason I spent it so quickly, truth be told, is I was just like, man, if we fail in getting Liliana out and for some reason get like arrested, I don't think they're gonna let me keep all this money.
Right.
I
So
kind of
it's
had
like-
that thought too, but like
Yeah.
Gail has been so poor for so long. She's like, I need money.
I'm like the rich guy that's about to go to jail. He's like, shit, well now I gotta buy a bunch of stuff they can't take away from me.
Well, ironically, my thought was like, oh, we're about to do this big thing. I better upgrade my gear because I really haven't had a chance to do this in a long time. And then because I'm upgrading it, I'm not going to have it for tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Luckily,
Yeah,
you got
that's-
good stand-in stuff because you had some
Yeah.
backup.
Yeah, I do have
That's
my old
okay.
shit. So
Yeah,
good thing I never explicitly got rid of that.
smart.
My main splurge was the rug. Everything else I stand by.
I should double check that, like my AC and stuff are right though. Let's see.
What is really funny is the one thing I did buy isn't gonna help with this situation either.
I just love that you always buy something you've been wanting for like a while and then immediately you want something else. Like it's just so Gale. It's the
Or
third time.
well, and also like the thing I bought, we get it's like we either don't use it, like the Moonstone wand, or it doesn't actually do what my character thinks it's gonna do.
I love it. I love it. Genuinely. Okay, I have
That feels very
leather.
on brand.
Leather.
It's still a good purchase. Like it's gonna help, but not in this particular scenario.
Just not when we need it to.
For Brett's leather armor, it'd be 11 plus your dex and any other extra bits you may have.
Damn, that's such a downgrade. I'm going from 17 to 14.
Oof. Ouchie.
That's fine. I got the hit points.
I thought Brett had
Sure.
good decks for some odd reason.
I mean, he's got a 3, like a 6. His total is
Yeah, I guess
16.
that's not bad.
But I loaded up his constitution over his deck. His
I'm
constitution is 18 and his charisma is 18.
I'm sure we'll like your next character all the same.
I was like,
You're calling it Brett's gonna die.
She has so
We'll all
much
have a great
invested
new
into it.
batch
I'm
of
gonna play
characters after today.
You already got my backup.
No.
if Brent dies, I'm claiming Quint.
That's fair.
We're going back to
that'd be-
Strixhaven, baby.
Total party kill. We have to go back to school. Start all over.
Year 1.
It
We
was all
will
a
do
dream.
this until you get it right.
It's like
Maybe
Could I-
you'll fucking abandon school before you graduate.
We've been playing
Could I be-
Strixhavens for 24 years. One day, we'll get
If we-
past Ravnica.
If we go back, Bryce gets Brent. Can I be Meru?
Ooh, I like that. That's fun.
Oh, maybe the guy with the pig?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
Priscilla and Mayru.
Can I be L?
Damn it, you took my character.
Haha, in your face. You can't pick your girlfriend.
Not my girlfriend. I'm trying to kill her.
It kind of sounds like when you're being mean to somebody because you like them.
Yeah, this sounds like the old enemies to lovers trope.
Would it be a
Aw, man.
cliche?
Listen, I have like 3 kids that I have to take care of. She can't handle this right now, okay?
I'm a dad now.
Dad.
I'm a family man.
I gotta provide for my family.
Unless you want to take them, you can have them.
I'm just imagining like this is my son, and you like point it out with your hand, like flat down to the ground. It's like you literally keep him on one of those like kid backpack leashes.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
A little monkey leash.
Yeah, I was thinking a teddy bear, but I like.
Cool.
I honestly forgot you got an imp. It would be interesting.
Hey, you almost got one too.
Almost.
What I need to do is figure out how to brand Stabby so that he's just around all the time. And then when I need him to fight, I can pump him full of damage.
Oh, and so once we get the brand that gets Stabby here all the time, maybe we can put the seal on him, and then he can have an imp.
No. Stabby's gonna stay pure, okay? I'm not gonna mark Stabby.
Dangerous routes. We're talking about.
I don't want my imp developing single demon syndrome. Okay, he needs a playmate.
My pet
So
needs
I
a
don't-
pet, okay?
I don't want to sound
I
old
don't know. I
fashioned,
don't know
but
if your pet should be bound to your pet.
if
A pet,
he's,
pet, you know.
the Celestial's only getting another Celestial. Okay? Anything else, I just made it.
This is my Cupid.
That was so great that you couldn't go through with the ritual.
Well, the whole time I was like, can this work? I was like, yeah, whatever.
I
guess
I wasn't even really
happened
thinking
imp.
about that,
I
to be
didn't,
honest.
I was. I didn't know the consequence. Like, I didn't think there'd be that consequence.
Ellen doesn't know a lot.
I thought at some point, somebody at some point would just be like, what the fuck are you doing with an imp or a celestial? I'd be like, I don't know, it's for a deal.
Got it for a deal.
It was,
My-
It's on sale.
It was on
I'm
sale.
sure that's down.
you know,
I
we
just
were
thought-
in Ravnica, as one does.
When in Ravnica.
When in
Honestly, I just
Ravnica.
figured I'd like pray one day, and Snoop was just like, are you fucking for real, dude? Give me the loot back.
I can't
Dumbest
be
shit I've
dealing with
ever
this
seen.
shit.
Yeah. Can't be playing with you right now. I didn't know, Cal. I needed to do it.
You made me do it.
I'll
And
kill
if Kel
Kalski for you.
forsook me, would you? Wow.
Yes.
Probably.
Is that a trick question?
I just wanted his life so bad.
Everyone's got their music playing. Everyone's got a vibe rolling. Let's jump on in. Previously, in our last session, we watched our party spend the remaining daylight hours out in the vast city of Ravnica, seeing Aelody and Kaisher head out to sort out the repair supplies for the Dragonfly, whilst the rest of our party would be accompanied by Datla, while they would venture to visit Zeo the Monomind, our party beseeching the artificer Elithid to free Vors from the ring. After a little bit of back and forth among the collective themselves, both Vors and Zeo would agree to the process themselves. The party, along with Datla, each receiving a chunk of gold in exchange for their part in connecting Zeo to Vors, and allowing him to essentially study the overall success of the experiment of this particular Warforged model that Vors is being put into. Seeing this lengthy arcane soul transfusion take some time to complete, but ultimately proving successful. Once Vor's souls would be bound to this Warforged, he would only need about 3 or so hours to adjust to the new form. And after freeing Vors, the party would set back out into the city, spending some of their newly found gold, as well as making contact with one Kaya Kasser of the Omen Seekers. Over the course of the remaining daylight, they would each make some big ticket purchases, as well as learning about Kaya's connections to Liliana. From there, they would reconvene at the Gilded Leaf just as the sun would begin to set on the day, seeing the dark night sky begin to creep in as the daylight fades, leaving our party roughly about 6 hours until their first attempt at trying to free Liliana Vess from her capturers. And our game today picking up just as the sun fully sets on the day, seeing the 2 moons of Ravnica rise up into the beautiful night sky overhead. The party stepped back on board the Gilded Leaf maybe 30 minutes or so earlier, seeing everyone finishing up their coffees and pastries that Gale had picked up for them earlier that evening. U5 and Vors would likely be lingering up on the top deck after the rest of the crew of the Gilded Leaf would probably break away to begin their nightly routines, this including Datla starting to make some dinner for everyone. Move our mappy poo, get you guys a vibe. And as it's just really U6 up on the top deck, aside from Q still hanging around that sort of central tree of the Gilded Leaf. Aelody would likely relay that her and Kaisher were indeed able to purchase the repair supplies for the Dragonfly, able to pick them up for 375 gold in total, including having the supplies being delivered earlier tomorrow morning. So Captain Gold's Connect paying off. Aelody probably bringing up that she's indeed going to try to get Captain Casper to refund the gold, so she's not coming after any of you guys currently for compensation.
Good, because she's not getting anything.
And if you really need your portion, you can go after Datla.
Poor Gale. Gale's got money stuff. Go after Datla. She took your cut. I tried to stop her. I said no, and she said yes, and then here we are.
Yeah, okay, I'm not muted. I think Gail's just gonna walk up and at least go ahead and hand over like 75 gold to Aelody.
What?
Aelody looking a little bit surprised. I mean, I didn't expect you to pay me. You were the only one that actually gave me gold to go do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. They kind of spent theirs, but it's okay.
Some of that gold was from our performance.
Yeah, we made a little bit of extra money too along the way.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys didn't actually get to do any extra performances today?
I don't. Yeah, we didn't.
I mean,
did we?
Captain just got Vors' body.
We made
and then
I was just curious, just checking in.
And we had a full day of shopping.
I don't know if you've met Vors yet, but that's Vors.
Yeah, I'd imagine there was like that brief early interactions when Aelity was like real skeptical, and then there's like the introductions. And it gets maybe been like 30 minutes of like sort of just catch up between everyone, just getting everyone up to pace on like current happenings and everything. 75 gold here. I'll add that to Aelity's inventory.
She's gonna make 2 of them platinum. So 55 gold and 2 platinum.
Okay. Take that. Sweet.
Updated my gold.
And again, all of you knowing that there's about 5 hours or so until the actual like food service of the sort of like pre-performance portion begins. The actual show beginning in about roughly 6 hours. So you guys have plenty of time here on board to either show up just before the show or show up for food service, get a little bit of food before. It's up to you guys. You guys have plenty of time. What would our party like to do with their remaining downtime until heading out to the Gore House?
I mean, Brett would suggest, like, he's leaning heavily towards showing up early enough for food service, getting a feel for the place and stuff.
How much time do we have? Like, how many out? Like, couple? Like, we have a few hours. 6 hours.
6 hours if you want to show up like for the performance, or about 5 hours if you want to get for the food service, which is about like an hour window. So even then, you know, you guys could show up at 11:30, get like a meal as the performance is like about to start, sort of vibe, or like, you know, the night is yours.
Well, I would say, I think we all agreed to show up for food prior, right?
Ooh, I'm down.
I think that was the vibe.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think we should do that. We should rest. Thinking about using these spells today.
Yeah, I mean, Brett needs a short rest to get his bardics back.
That's it. Yeah, I'd say we just do any sort of rest that we need, short rest, and then head out. And that would be my vote. Kind of keep low key until it's time to leave. Somebody else needs to do anything.
I
mean, Gale doesn't get anything back from a short rest. And I know I don't want to use spell slots, but she would want to, like, go out to the bottom of the ship and just practice a little bit with her new wand.
Oh, yeah.
Guardian Leviosa.
That's fair.
And you know, I need to be attuned to it, so we could say this is the time she gets attuned to it, you know, just throwing around cantrips and such.
I like it. We'll say Aelity will join you down there. You guys do a little bit of practice.
And then I do want to try and, like, do I have to attune to the rug?
The rug? Let me double check.
Or I want to, like...
I don't believe so, because basically the rug, you know, at the moment, it's basically this big, you know, for you, it's kind of like a spell scroll tube, but it's like so big, like,
yeah.
And so you kind of hold it with 2 hands. You can carry it almost like a big log, but almost like, you know, a fair sized log with one arm or like over the shoulder, but like it's big. And you know that you basically just have to like break off this like latching and essentially break this what looks like a magical seal on the sort of cap of the tube. Like the shopkeep said, the tube will kind of be magically inert, so it can no longer like forcibly keep the rug inside. And then you basically go from there. But let me see if it is attunement. I don't think it is.
So like once I open it, I can't put it back in the tube.
Yeah, I mean, it could go back in the tube, but you can't like, it's not magically being forced inside the tube any longer because it's like sealed in here because the shopkeep said it is a little problematic. It's a little picky. Very strong personality possibly, or just very choosy. So you could do that whenever you'd like. You got time. Chance, again, you have your sort of iron carrier still that has your imp in it. Still haven't done introductions quite yet with it. You have that case probably like in your in your quiver at this point, where you can feel like the quiver jostle every now and again from the sword that sort of is like sort of fighting inside its case. And a time.
I know I have time, but I don't think that this is the proper time. So, I am just gonna like probably sit down with Boris and just tell him that we've got something that we've got to do, and to just hang out here, and we'll be back and stuff.
I want to
Boris.
bond with my rug.
Where are you gonna break the seal at?
Probably somewhere below deck. Like if I can get a room that I can like shut the door in.
I mean, you could ask one of the crewmates for one of their rooms. You guys do have that sort of like storage area that does have its own closed off door. It's a bigger space given, but
Okay,
it is sealed.
I'll do the storage.
Storage, okay. Vors probably would come down out of curiosity after talking with Kellen, seeing you with the spell scroll tube, this big tube, and just like
we'd go watch him.
downstairs.
That'd be fun.
Vors is very intrigued. We'll say maybe Aelity and Gale still like on the underside of the ship doing their practicing. Aelity is probably like will probably come up to you at some point, Gale. Like her spell slots come back on a short rest, so she's probably asking if you can kind of create something for her to dispel. So like she can sort of practice it, just sort of like flavor the practicing for like a minute or two.
Guess I could do a minor illusion.
Ooh,
Create
that's a good
something.
idea. What would your little illusions be?
Should probably just try and recreate some little monster looking thing. I don't
A little goober.
I was trying to I was thinking of those weird what are they called? I want to say florps. Those weird like octopus
the flumps.
Yeah, the flumps, but I was like I don't know if she's actually seen those.
You maybe see some illustrations. I mean, you did have like sort of a magical creature class for during your first year.
Yeah, so she creates a bunch of flumps flying around.
I love it. Sort of floating targets for Aelity to like pop with Dispel.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Kellen, Vors, Marius heading below deck. What's Brett doing? Is Brett joining them below deck? Is he doing his own bits?
I mean, maybe he's around for the target practice stuff, but he's just kind of getting reacquainted with his old gear. Probably feels
re-stretching it back out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably got a little stiff.
I like it. So you're like on the opposite side of that under deck, basically doing some stretches and just getting resituated in your gear. I love it. I love it. Heading back to that sort of storage deck, your guys' sort of home over the past almost a little less than 2 weeks. Marius's big spell scroll tube sort of heads to the open space, puts it down on one side. Anything you do in particular before you sort of break the seal on this guy?
I'm gonna have Granite ready to jump on it if needed.
Smart, very smart.
So this is kind of mechanical, but because warlocks get their spell slots back after a short rest, right?
Yep.
But if I've blended with sorcerer, I know it's just 2, so would I just like always get 2 back on a short rest, or do I obviously the higher level is I don't have sorcerer spells, but I don't know
what
if the
level
lower
warlock
level
are you?
6,
Level
5.
6, 5. So you have 2 level 3 spell slots that come back on a short rest.
Okay, so I just have to make sure I use those.
Yeah, so as long as you pop
Like level
2
3.
level 3s, you get it back about an hour rest.
Okay, I don't know what else I would need.
So it could be level 3 or lower, because you could always upcast a level 1 or level 2 spell.
Do you give any
Okay,
like
just wanna
direction
see.
to Kellen or Vors just in case you need help with anything?
I guess I would ask for you two to be like on both sides of the door, like ready to like help restrain it if needed.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Boris would
Um,
sort of be on the opposite side of you.
And I guess I'll use a level 3 spell slot, and I guess I'll just summon Stabby.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Pull Stabby out here.
Stabby!
He's got strength of 13.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm assuming he can't hurt. I don't know if he has any bits. Let's see. Charmed? No. Okay. So we'll bring him out. So we'll kind of have like Granite on one side, Stabby on the other. It'll kind of be like squared up and ready. And then Vors and Kellen behind me. And then I guess I'll just yeah, here we go. I'll just break the seal.
Do we
I
have
love
a
it.
picture for Stabby? I know you have a token.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like,
I
I
wanted
don't
to
think I
look
can-
at him again, but
I don't think I can do the show.
I think I can. I got you. Oh, it's only in your journal. Here, let me put it in everyone's journal.
hey,
There we go.
Stabby!
Aw.
He's adorable.
Yeah. It says short sword for his attack, so I always pictured when he swiped the claw. It's like this ethereal looking celestial sword
That's cool.
takes over. That's let any slasher spirit. I was like, this looks okay. Okay. Yeah, and then bust.
Bust it open as Marius, you sort of begin to peel up the wax seal that's sort of interlaid around this cap and begin to peel it up. As soon as the cap is removed, you can feel the carpet sort of push itself out of the tube. Give me a dexterity saving throw, just for flavor's sake. Doesn't have to be terribly high, just like the force of this thing jettisoning out of the tube. You sort of get knocked back on your butt. Roll me a D100, Marius, and this will determine the size of the carpet.
37.
A 37.
Respectable.
So
Personal carpet.
you would see this
Welcome there.
4 foot by 6 foot flying carpet sort of circle the space and almost like rest in front of you.
That's a decent size.
Yeah, I respect that. What do I say?
I could probably fit like what, 2 people?
Me, Granite,
it's
400
Stabby,
pounds.
we're kind of
400-pound carry capacity with a 60-foot movement speed.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I see. If it's bigger, it's slower. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So you could carry double that and it still moves 30. So, like, you know, it can move at a normal pace even with 800-ish pounds.
Oh, so you
Oh.
could. Okay. Carry
Yeah, I
twice
didn't
its
read
weight, but
underneath
flies
that.
at half its speed. That's cool.
Huh.
Give me a, pick any skill you'd like and sort of apply it to the flavor of this, of like the general vibe as you sort of get knocked out on your butt as this thing sort of fills the space, not like flying rapidly, but very much like stretching its legs as it rests in front of you as you're standing up.
So I assume like if we went over 800, like we couldn't fly with it anymore, but we could go like up to 800 with half speed.
Correct.
Okay.
So, guys, I don't want to overstress my rug. It'll start fraying. I guess I'm gonna go with Arcana. Just try and reach out magically. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
just
love
be
it.
like, hey, you're magic, I'm magic, you should listen to me, we'll have a great time.
Listen to my heart.
It's kind
Oh?
of
An
18.
18. As there is this almost like, if you could look into this carpet's eyes, there is this momentary stare down between Marius and the carpet. Vors, Kellen, and Stabby sort of taking in this tense, maybe 30 seconds. After a minute, the carpet would almost like surge towards you, Marius, like wrap around your torso before flying back in front of you. Now, instead of almost like standing up like Genie, like Aladdin, it very much is like resting almost flat, hovering just a couple of feet above the ground. As you can add a carpet of flying into your inventory.
Ooh.
4 feet by 6 feet, 60-foot movement.
Hell yeah.
You did it.
Well, that went better than I thought. I was like, watch this thing like fight me, try to like fly off, and it's like,
There goes 500 gold or whatever the fuck you paid for it.
2,000.
I have a
Oh,
weird
God.
feeling there could still be some moments, like a scared horse where it like tries to buck you or something if something happens.
Don't spook my carpet, bro.
You can't approach it from the back.
Which side is the... Okay.
Yeah, which side is the bad?
Wow.
Wow. You would.
And
Probably used to
Marius,
just walking on them.
Marius or Chad, what does the carpet look like? What is its designs? Or like at least color scheme, maybe?
I found that like deep red with like kind of the black inlays. A little bit of like that kind of like frill on the outside.
Mhm.
Kind of like that cream color. But it looks like a little more worn. A little kind of dirty on the edges. Maybe there's like kind of like a little worn in spot where you can see people have been trying to like sit or stand on it. So is it like sentient? Does it like follow me around? Is it kind of like granite? It just kind of chills by me.
Yeah, as you sort of like interact with it, maybe like move about, it sort of stays with you. And then as you sort of like sit there for a moment, you probably have the same recollections of like it would have a command word of some kind. And maybe you do have that moment of like, oh, I can probably pick my command word to have it like activate and deactivate.
Leviosa.
As it would like furl up and it would try to go back into the tube initially.
If it's comfortable in the tube. But yeah, I guess if it's kind of like listening to me, I'll just spend the rest of my time like, ooh. Can I spend time trying to like sit on the carpet and get used to it and short rest?
Yeah, most definitely.
Spell slide back? Okay, that's kind of the vibe until we're ready to go. Just
Love
him
it.
getting used to it and then...
Meditate with your carpet.
Is it possible? Would it fit in my haversack? Like in the main pocket if I folded it up? I'm trying to find the...
I was about to say, let me look at it because I know it is slightly smaller than a bag of holding.
Yeah, because I know it has like 2 side pouches that are like 20 pounds. I think the main one's 80. But I didn't know if it's possible to kind of like quote unquote fold it up.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's more if like I should say like if I had to.
I would say so. At least while you have the tube, I would say it's doable. Maybe if you didn't, it'd take a little bit more like finessing. But since it kind of conceals itself well in there, I'd say that's easy enough.
It's doable. Just more for instances like when we go to this event, I think it'd be weird to have just like a magic carpet like
For sure.
next to me. But for the most part, he'll just have it. Is it like Aladdin? Like, can it just like kind of sit upright and follow me around, or does it have to be like?
If it's sitting still, it can very much like Aladdin's carpet, sort of like almost curl up like a snake. But when in motion, it very much has to kind of stay flat, like like hovering at most times. So
Okay. I was just curious. And then when it says flying, does it like fly? Like I can go up in the air, or is it just always stay like a couple feet off the ground?
yeah, as soon as you get back on it and probably have the thought of like, let's fly, you maybe say Leviosa again and it would begin to sort of pick up. You could tell like basically when you say Leviosa, it's all about your intent. So it's
okay.
So it's kind of like your command word is just like dictated by your intent. So it's like, oh, I want you to fly Leviosa. Oh, I want you to deactivate Leviosa.
Perfect.
So it's kind of like Granite, like similar, a little different.
Granite's attack word is hugs.
Oh,
I
God.
love that. But yeah.
Sick. One other question, which is fine if I can't, but could I theoretically fly on this carpet in combat?
I mean, yeah, theoretically, you think it would maybe be a little vulnerable, but it seems doable.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Alright, so yeah, Marius will spend the rest of his time like just getting used to like being on the rug and like kind of testing it out.
I like it. I like it. Maybe the first time you step on it, it's a little weird. Maybe you expect it to be more spongy, but it's very much like stepping on a carpet on the ground. Towards the edges, you can feel that sort of bend where it's not quite as firm, but in the center space and most of it, it's very easy, kind of comfy.
Sweet. Okay, that's it for Marius.
He's hanging out, getting used to his carpet with Stabby, probably like bouncing on it from time to time.
He's flying around with us.
Seeing below deck, the practice probably still going, at least for, this first hour, maybe 2-ish hours. Anything else?
Gale would fashion, maybe with just some extra strips of cloth, just a little very simple wand like holster for like her forearm, so then it can like hide in her long sleeve.
Ooh,
so she can just
okay.
pull it out.
I like it. I like it.
I don't think Aelity uses a wand, right?
Yeah, Aelity doesn't. She probably could. She would speculate, but she's never needed one. If she had a cool one like yours, she would use it.
I've got this moonstone wand.
Turns it away, disgust. Still have that thing?
Moonstone is a useful tool, okay? At some point it will be useful.
Why don't you give it to Marius? He's the moon guy. You could have given it to Koski. He's another moon guy.
Okay, well, I didn't have my new wand when we met with Koski, so.
Oh,
wow.
Anything else from our party over these couple hours?
Guess we'd pass around the sending stones that we got, like the group sending stone.
Ooh, that's fair. Everyone go ahead and add a sending stone to your inventory. And again, with these ones, you can either do like a group broadcast or you can message one singular person. Between these 6. Ooh, I'll put it in Aelity's inventory.
Yeah.
And then I still have the extra one. So I
Sounds good.
Nice.
I guess maybe it wouldn't hurt for now to like leave the extra one with like gold, because I mean we're gonna be leaving with them anyways, in case we need to message them. And we'll just pick it, get it back before we leave, part ways with them.
I mean, ideally we're leaving with them, but I guess regardless, they would be bringing supplies to Casper, so then they could give it to Casper potentially.
Yeah. I mean, well, we'll get it back from gold, but for this little venture, wouldn't hurt necessarily.
I mean, for now, I think Marius is the one who has it, so I won't make that decision.
What? Are we talking about the second sending stone?
Yeah,
yeah.
spare sending stone.
Who do you want to leave it with?
Gold,
I
just in case. Or no?
I'm not against it. My only hesitation was that like like gold's not really like our
Yeah, again.
captain, and so I couldn't. I don't know. I'm open if the group is open to it, but my gut reaction is like I can't foresee us calling gold and then gold coming and being like, "Yeah, let me pick you up and take you."
I don't see there being a reason that we need to stay in contact with these people. I mean, they're nice people.
But I also get it. So
Yeah, I mean, if we want to fully leave them out of it as much as possible, then, yeah. But just a thought, not trying to force it.
Yeah, because like, what if like heavens forbid this happens, but like if we get caught and then they're like, oh, group sending stone, and then they like find that gold has it, they're like, oh, you guys like were involved in this. I don't know.
I don't really.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I think that's. I don't. We shouldn't really care about that. Like, we don't. These people are nice. They helped. It's awesome.
Right, so like maybe we should just keep it.
I mean, we should just
Just
give
in
it to
case.
Captain Professor Lady anyway, right?
Oh, this is a good thought. Is Vor's coming to the show?
Vors and I talked, and
He
doesn't
doesn't have a ticket.
so he's gonna stay here. And plus, Imp Biscuit and Edward Sharp need a babysitter, so Vors is the oldest.
Vor's is the oldest by
We're gonna
like
come
an
back.
hour.
The whole cruise and be dead. Or be like,
Or
I got you
without
that shit.
Guy's a ship.
Sociopath, I tell you.
Oh my god.
Well, do we want to like head out early and like hit up any taverns like before, or do we just want to hang out here?
I hate to be that person, but I don't know if drinking before this is the best thing.
Oh no, I meant like performances. Kind of what I was thinking, like magic list performances, get a little pocket change, and then people will be like, "These guys would never break Liliana out of her show because they're performers. I saw them." I can hack them.
Alibi.
I mean, if you want, I guess. I mean, if it's magicless, then I'm not really doing anything, and I feel a little too nervous right now to perform. So,
And A-Lady would probably look over at Gale and probably give a nod. I mean, I'm with Airbag over here. Like, I just don't
Windbag.
think. I mean, yeah, but you're more than the wind. You're air. Like, I've been practicing with you. You could do a lot of stuff besides just blow wind.
Thank you. Someone's finally noticing.
Yeah, I don't want to perform personally. I mean, if you guys do, sure. I don't know. The closer we get to this, the more nervous I am.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't worry, we're in this together, and I'll be right next to both of you the whole time.
Cuts to Brett getting distracted, walking away.
Ooh.
Ooh. He's key.
You guys would probably hear like a dinner bell that rings probably just like twice solemnly whenever she is like, dinner's done, basically. Just a quick pop, pop. You sort of hear it chime out. A little bit of footsteps. People probably moving to get some plates, head back to their rooms, or go to the little mess hall.
Well, yeah, are we eating here, or do we need a...
I thought we were doing food service.
Well, we're doing like a... Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna do like a midnight show anyways. Pre-game.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what time
is
is
it
it.
We'll say now it's maybe like 7:30ish. Getting close to 8.
Yeah, light snacks
Okay, yeah,
before dinner service.
Pre-game drinks, pre-game food. Game.
Mhm.
Okay, everyone can have like one drink. We have enough time to sober up.
I mean, there's.
Fills a flask
Oh,
full
yeah,
of.
that's right. Marius has a flask. This is a dry boat.
I'll tell you that when this runs out, I'll stop drinking.
Yeah. I can't just stand around with a glass of wine. Shit.
It's a dry boat.
It's a dry boat.
Mm-hmm. That's why Ari had so much trouble drinking.
Sneakily puts flask back in pocket.
Yeah, don't let Gold see that.
I'd kill Gold.
We're not
before
part of
she
the
took
crew.
my
I think we can do whatever the fuck we want. So.
It has my initials on it. Crudely
I think that
carved
was kind of
initials.
the thing, but like I feel like we were respecting it, you know.
This
Yeah,
group
we-
is
I
too
mean, they did
soft.
save
Yeah,
us
we
from being
definitely
marooned.
didn't smoke our joints on the bottom of the ship.
Listen, hey,
Yeah.
we did it outside the ship.
Wink, wink.
That's right. It was on the bottom of the boat, so you said.
Yeah, that
Those-
way, if we dropped it, the whole ship could go aflame. We're thinking real, not very much. Just the two.
I love it.
Bill's gonna stand around while everyone eats with a glass of water. Hydrate.
Love it. I love it. All you guys give me perception checks. Let's imagine most of you come in, at least grab a plate of food, whether you linger too long here in the little mess quarters. It's up to you.
I'd probably hang out.
A nat 19.
There's like a
Nice. 2 19s.
so grab like a bread roll or something.
Mine's also in that night.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
What is this?
You guys are, well, we are so ready.
So
You guys are
insane.
so ready for tonight.
We're
Holy
in
shit.
sync.
I love it.
Yay!
2 19s, 2 21s. And what's crazy is the modifiers are all different.
I know. It's amazing. Group unity.
Call the Pope. Get certified miracle.
As you guys are all in the fairly cramped space, especially with how many people usually come in here and eat. Maybe it's because you were just talking about it. Maybe because some of you were thinking about it. But even over the smell of the beautiful steak and potato dinner that Datla has prepared, these large cuts of what look like ribeye, giant potatoes that take up most of the plate, just like a classic roll on top. This is like way outside the usual menu. This is like a very upscale meal as all you guys begin to cut into it. But all of you kind of pick up on a lingering smell. You guys begin to sniff. All of your eyes probably land on Ari. He's high as shit, and he smells like blight leaf as he's just diving into the steak and potatoes, bloodshot eyes as he's just chewing mouthfuls of food as everyone's sort of talking around him.
So this is how he recovers from the hangover.
Call the sister.
Gail's just gonna.
Shake
Well,
down
actually,
from
no,
Strux.
because you need to like hold the sending stone.
You just like place your hand on it if it's in a pocket or something, you know.
But I can use the message earring.
Oh, true.
she'll
Yeah,
just
you guys are
kinda-
in super close proximity.
Yeah, she'll just kind of go like look into the corner for a second and subtly like grab her earring and whisper and message Marius and be like, Ari knows where to get some blight leaf if you're wanting it.
Is that wait? Out of character. Who did we ask about where to find Blightleaf?
That
Uh,
was
That was Datla.
Datla and Kaisher. I think you asked
Yeah.
both of them.
we asked a bunch of nerds. That was our
That's what I'll
first
do.
mistake.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was the problem.
That'll be what he replies with. Clearly, we asked the wrong people the other day. As he kind of gives a quick glance to watch him just chow down.
Oh, he's just loving this meal, like cleaning the plate.
Mhm. I mean, I'll grab him after dinner and ask.
Fair enough.
Our
So-
hero.
dinner begins to wrap up. Plates beginning to hand off. Datla probably going like back and forth as she is just like loved preparing and serving this meal, probably shooing off anyone from helping. She's just super taken by this one, wants to take all the credit. And people would begin to trickle out as dinner would begin to wrap up. Ari probably lingering behind last, we'll say thematically, as maybe Fern and like Pebble make their way off, like back out into the ship. And it's just sort of you guys left in here with Ari as he's just like holding his stomach full. He cleaned off his plate and like the little bit of leftovers that maybe Aelity left behind, but he just like polished off everything because he's just leaning back in his seat. Man, some good shit. Whew.
Hell yeah, nothing like a port meal, am I right? Fresh ingredients.
Hey, we've had some port meals, don't get me wrong, but that was like a next level shit. I don't know what Datla's doing in there, but man, it was good.
I mean, it was good. I'm sure you enjoyed it more than the rest of us.
Gail's gonna grab the plates lingering with Mage Hand and then walk away.
I mean, what do you mean? Hey, we all liked it. You guys dug into it. I was hoping for more leftovers, honestly.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, I just know, like, when I'm high, everything tastes better.
There you go. I was like, how do I bring this up without bringing it up?
He sort of gives you that, like, double take. But no. Well,
Hey, man, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Where, like, do you get a good deal, man? Because honestly, like, we're tapped out. And we could really use some resupply.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, I picked up some the other night when we were just sort of bopping around doing our thing, you know. We were doing your shows and met a few nice folks. Grabbed a little bit. Did you know it's actually illegal to sell the blight leaf here on Ravnica, but totally legal to actually ingest and smoke it and do whatever the fucks you want with it?
Okay. What about, like, bartering?
I mean, any form of commerce, I don't really know. They said something about some Simic Golgari pact, something.
So once you have it, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on you, you're good. If they catch you trying to give it away or do anything, it's considered bad. I don't know what it's all about, but...
Huh.
Control, it's all about control, man. Well, we should send Aelity to go buy it just in case.
I mean,
it's true. She could change things up.
Not trying to, showboat or nothing, but I spent maybe a fair amount of my stipend on some. I mean, I know y'all are like even partakers. I mean, y'all want to like maybe leans forward. Y'all want to maybe do a little something. I mean, I got a whole lot of space in my room, but we could probably all squeeze in there.
Hot boxes.
We've got like stuff that we gotta do tonight, but like rain check.
Yeah,
rain
when we're
check.
done, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's right. Sure, yeah. I mean, after whatever y'all got going on, y'all are like heading off the boat like at night.
Yeah, we're going to that night showing, remember?
That's right. Y'all got the big fancy shows. You got the get-ups for. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they say, but in Ravnica.
Well, yeah. Well, after y'all's fancy show, well, let's light up. I mean, everyone will probably be asleep. I've tried to get Datla. She's not interested.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out.
I just feel like she'd be the most fun. Get it in her system, get her feeling it. But no.
I mean, I bet she'd make the best snacks. Like, she'd probably combine all kinds of crazy shit.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, don't bring it up to Fern. I could not imagine her getting high.
Oh my god.
I think that's the funniest thing that could happen on this ship, man.
She just starts like rapping and getting real thug. Instead of like Disney.
She's already in her own world. She doesn't need any help getting out of here, all right?
This is when Gail
Fine,
comes
bro.
back in with some extra cups, and she's holding her endless tumbler of coffee, being like, "Coffee, coffee."
Oh, Ari would
I'm
love
a little
some.
over the hazelnut. Sorry. Thanks, Gail.
Yeah, Summer, you're starting to lose taste for it.
There is still some of that, the fancy stuff I bought. It's just none of it was made yet. Dalla didn't make coffee at 8 p.m.
Well, let's pick
Bitch.
something while we're out. I want the D&D equivalent of like a Red Bull.
On the line of pixie dust.
Yeah.
Didn't you want to be cool? Powdered courage for the rescue.
Fucking good right now.
I have so many good ideas.
Anything else with your guys' time on the ship? We're just going to kill some time till about 10 o'clock or so. You guys know it takes loosely about an hour to get to the Gore House following the safe streets. You could probably save time if you take back roads, but you were advised against that, but you do as you see fit.
I think we'll play it safe today. Do I have dark vision? I get stabbed in an alley. I have dark vision. I mean, I assume we just kind of go over the plan one more time, and then probably head out. The only thing Mary's is gonna do is I'll probably take like that extra cloak I bought and wrap like the what's it called? The pendant of non-detection, amulet of non-detection. So I'll put like
Yeah, I think
that
that's
in there, and then I'll put one of the sending stones in there, and then I'll put one of my old scroll of Misty Step in there, and then I'll put like 10 gold in there, and then just like bundle it up as like a little
care package.
care package for Liliana, maybe like a day or two of rations just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just bundle that up and put it in like one of the pouches of the haversack, and then maybe just like practice a phrase that indicates my rug to go into its like tube so I can store them in my bag.
Love it. Love it. Solid prep.
Yeah. That's kind of what he's up to. And then like, I don't know, maybe adjusting shit in his haversack. So he's like, okay, put my health potion here, and I'll put this thing here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Love it. We got a planning Marius. I love this.
Okay, it's fine. Maybe he's like putting on war paint, and then he'll maybe do like one more meditation to sleep before he goes, just like, hey,
Love
give me
it.
some guidance, good luck.
Probably like, you find a little quiet space. Maybe it's on the top deck as everyone's sort of milling about below. Just trying to get a little bit of like meditation in. Like as soon as your eyes are shut, you can almost like feel you're entering that sort of calm breathing state. A heavy footsteps sort of break the silence coming up from the bottom deck. Maybe open up an eye, you see Vors. It's kind of like approaching, like almost meekly, a little shyly. Hello, Marius. Are you busy?
Oh,
Did I interrupt something?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What's up? How can I help you?
I know I asked to use your loot in the laboratory. And I know you are. Looking back, I should have realized you are very particular about your instrument, which I understand. But perhaps, in place of that, I could actually ask a different favor, if that's all right.
Sure. What's the favor? And also, it wasn't anything personal. You were just new to your body, and it was a Warforged. I was just wanted you to be more comfortable. I mean, you can give it a go if you want, or whatever your other question was.
Thanks to Gail, she purchased me my own instrument. Sort of pats this For us it would be a guitar. For you, it's like this weird shaped lute that like has this like odd bend in its body and like a flat back on it. It's like kind of awkward looking.
In the back of his mind, he's like, "What a stimulating instrument! That'll never catch on."
Thanks to Gail, she purchased this for me. But
Oh, I was friends with Gail for almost a year before she bought me anything.
She is very generous. All of you are very generous.
What was your question?
Right. Could I perhaps watch you play your instrument? I'm having a hard time sort of getting the feel for the strings again, but maybe if I paid close attention to a skilled musician pluck at the strings, maybe perhaps spark some inspiration.
Chromatic orb, he's up to something. I'll play the lute of illusion. Like I'll give in. Maybe because I was kind of meditating and still had that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kind of have like the saloon character come up, and then kind of like that cliche like moonlight through the cloud kind of vibe, and he'll just play something kind of like show offy, but not, like not trying to be pretentious, but like, let me show you how to work a tiny guitar.
Give me either a religion check with advantage or just a performance check.
Let's do religion with advantage. It's kind of the tone here. 7. Okay, well, you threw off my groove.
The performance itself is still amazing. There's no falter or any, missed notes. It's all perfect. This is almost like one of your classics for you. The illusions sort of moving in place. After a moment, again, you're probably playing for a good, minute and a half, 2 minutes, just sort of getting the vibe. Not feeling anything particularly special yourself, no deeper state like you've found at previous points. But Vors, sorry, I should have had his sheet up. Vors will make...
Like Will Ferrell on Step Brothers. I wasn't ready. My voice wasn't ready. I've had a sore throat for like a month.
There it is. I'll do his with advantage. 21. After your performance sort of finishes,
Okay.
Vors is like dumbfounded for a moment. He would probably like do a little turn of the head. Again, his sort of construct, emotionless face. He would have these blink to his eyes that he would finally blink at, maybe after 2 minutes of not blinking. You are incredibly gifted. I did not know that you yourself were a plane caller. It explains a lot about you.
Oh, what?
Plane caller. Communing with the planes, greater forces. The instrument you play, I understand fully now why you are so particular about it. It is your focus. It is your key.
He kind of like looks at it, and he's just like, in the back of his mind, he's like, "Yeah, sure, dude." Like, oh, thank you. So, I'm sorry. Planes, like I can talk to the other planes. Like, you mean like when I just communicate, like my religion stuff,
No.
or like
My people, we had many different types of plane callers. Some spoke to the planes, heard them, felt them. Some supposedly would converse with gods. Some could influence both. There were many deviations of this, of course.
Yeah.
But it explains a lot of your gift. The stories Kellen has told me about you.
Fuck do you say? Well, I mean, Thank you. I didn't know I was a planes caller. He still sounds like suspicious. He's like, I don't know what this means. Could just gas me up.
I know it may feel strange, but when one has a spark, much like Kellen, it is not uncommon for them to act as a magnet for other gifted individuals. It's the way of the worlds, some say.
Do you think maybe these gifted individuals could like attract the spark and it works the other way around?
It is very well possible. Some scholars in my time believe such.
Boris, how old are you?
From my loose guesstimations that Kellen and I have been able to ascertain, I believe my true age is possibly around 1,200 years old or so.
Oh. So, were you like a priest in your time? How are you aware of this magic?
I was a guardian. My people, we would defend holy grounds. I was sanctioned to defend Cremina, father of the Undertides and the Everswell. May he reign.
He didn't say Shard. I have to kill him.
Sure. Her people are dangerous, nefarious.
Glad we can agree on that. He likes Forrest a little bit more now. Boris, what's your plan? I mean, you got a body, a soul, an instrument. I mean, you can travel the world. You can start over. You can follow us around, of course, but what do you want to do?
As much as I would love to try to return to my home, Rinquinth, I don't know if that's possible. I perhaps will do that someday. But if what Kellen has told me and what you all have told me is true, I would like to offer help. I am currently trying to figure out how to do that without being a burden. It seems like an enigma.
I think you've been a burden. Kellen seems to have enjoyed your company. Do you know anything about his spark and how to trigger it? Gail was just shocking him all the time, but you were there, so I didn't know if you had some further insight.
Did mention these, warned me when I would take control even, but...
That's fair, yeah. Yeah, she got me once. I turned the corner. Right in the side of the face. Yeah, I think I was stroke. First time, the second time, I was like, okay, this isn't an accident. She doesn't know.
That's what she's doing.
Kellen's spark is interesting. Something not even my people would fully understand, but it is... damaged isn't the correct word, but it is wounded. Not in true debilitating way, as you've seen his powers speak for themselves, but in a different way. Hard to explain.
Can a spark be healed with magic?
No, the spark cannot be healed, though I don't think his needs to be healed. My honest opinion, which I've been afraid to fully explain to Kellen, is it needs to mature, but again, that's not even the correct word. It needs to bloom. Igniting doesn't seem right for what is happening to his spark.
Okay, like transform? Is transform like a butterfly?
Yeah, metamorphize.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Perhaps in a metaphor, yes, he
Yeah.
needs to turn into a butterfly.
Is it a Bug's Life where he turns into the butterfly and he has these tiny wings?
I am a cute little bumblebee.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
that's it. I don't know why that popped in my head. Okay.
So what you're saying is more shocking.
Hit him twice. And then can I make an insight check just to like get his vibe? Like, is he
Yeah.
like down,
Insight
or is he
check.
just like he likes to
10?
jam? He can't be bad.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Vor's, again, kind of like what you said, he's kind of growing on you just a little bit. I mean, you obviously have never talking to him one-on-one like this, truly. So it is like a new experience. So it's kind of like a first impression.
He hates
Pretty
Shar. I
good.
hate Shar. We can bond on. We can build a relationship on that. Okay. I think so. I got that. Old dude. What more question if I can? You said planes calling. Is this something I can control? Do you understand how I can develop it more, or am I just like a conduit and it'll just like happen? If you know.
Much like how those that walk the plains with the gift, their abilities manifest in different ways. Kellen is his strange psionic abilities he seems to have.
Mhm.
Other planeswalkers can control flame at ease, no second thought. From what I recall, planescallers themselves, they manifest differently, like I mentioned. Some were conduits for one plane, being almost a mouthpiece for only one place. Others could communicate between all of them freely. Some needed to set foot on a plane in order to communicate with it. A select few could only communicate with the living, breathing wildlife of planets, some considering them to be the true soul of some planes. It is different. I wish I had more help.
Oh no, it's a big help. Thank you, boys. If you ever want to play the lute, you can. Like I said, it was just more of it was a new body, and obviously you're and he kind of like flicks him, and he's like, no, I was just worried about it anyway.
I don't blame you. I'm again eternally thankful for all of you for this chance. And again, I will find a way to be of value.
Oh, you're of value for us.
Sort of pan away from our little meet cute as time would begin to elapse, maybe about an hour or so before you guys would leave the ship. Again, while still on board, Brett, you would hear a minorly panicked voice come into your mind. Hey, Brett. Hey, are you there? I'm here at the Snarl. I'm standing here. And I come here as often as I can. But sorry, are you there? Are you busy?
My spot is muted.
I missed part of it. He said he was at the Snarl, and then what?
Then he just kind of rambled and asked if you're free. Honestly, it was kind of
Yeah.
incoherent, anyways.
Yeah, Brett would kind of. It feels like everyone's sort of split up for this last bit of time after dinner, so maybe he was just like in the. Let's see. There's no training area on this boat, right? So he's probably underneath.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Gail would be at her sleeping space, packing things into her bag to like not take anything with her that she doesn't need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Well, so I'm here to snarl, and I was looking at it, before I went to my dorm, and there's this spot. I don't know how to explain it. It's you know how it's always changing colors, the snarl? It's like constantly shifting. There's like there's a spot that pops up. It's like, it's real deep dark purple. It doesn't really shift well with the other colors before it sort of fades back in, and then it's like gone for a little bit, and it just comes back up, and it's just sort of there.
Okay. This seems like a change in topic. I swear it's not. You know Illithids, right?
Yes?
So, like, we met an Illithid who's, like, not a part of, like, the hive mind. And he's really smart and nice. So, don't judge him by his origin, right? And I had, like, kind of an interesting conversation with him about you, but I don't think anyone noticed. So, and like he shared that like when he separated from the hive mind of the Illithids, that like it was an accident because they put like these people put an anti-magic collar on him and he got separated from the hive mind but also from all magic, and then like now he's, after having that on for years, he got separated from it, and then and then he had to reconnect, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because like what if someone was connected to the chaos weave instead of the regular spell weave, and so then what if you could disconnect them from that and like maybe reconnect them to spell weave? And he was like, oh well, you'd have to like look at their aura and like get it examined and like see if maybe like if your original stuff is just like corrupted or whatever, like what happened to me and Marius, or if it's like if you're actually channeling it, like like the auric likes, or like what maybe is going on with you. So if that's the case, and you're like chaos now, but like you're still good because you're awesome, what if maybe like you shouldn't be near the snarl because like maybe you're accidentally kind of corrupting it? No, I'm not blaming you. I'm just spitballing.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. I'm moving away from it. Okay. I'm in the stacks. I'm in the books. Okay. All right. That's. I didn't even think about that. This is terrifying. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, who would have ever thought that, right? Like, I mean, but it could be someone else. Like, what if the orc is trying to, create a gnarl like right in the middle of campus? Like, have you noticed anything like going on?
I mean, I told you about that like weird statue thing that I had heard about, where the Prismari statue came to life, and no one seemed to talk about it. But I heard these kids, and I don't know. I couldn't find anything on it, but I mean, there is like weird stuff, but I think I just have to start looking into it, all of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because I don't know, like, because if you're not just corrupted like the way me and Marius were, and you're like connected, because your magic is different and stuff now, like maybe you and the snarl aren't like so compatible at the moment.
I mean, yeah, but it helped you guys, wouldn't it? I was hoping it would help me.
Well, I mean, that's why I suggested it too, babe. I just think your situation is a bit different, right?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm
Hey, don't
outside.
feel
Okay.
bad.
Fresh air feels good. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe you could. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe you could get your aura examined, but like, what? I don't want people to like think about you like any kind of weird way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Whew. All right. I just left the study group, by the way. It was a good time. We had a good time. I think I'm finally gonna go talk to Drazimir, see if he wants to join up. Whew. Okay.
Who's Drasimir again?
Kellen's friend, right? I've seen him around campus. Lorehold, super nice guy.
Yeah, he used to help
Like
us
science
with
guy?
our-
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah, it's
minotaur.
yeah.
Yeah. He seems nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Felix brought his roommate Jay. So there's 5 people, including me 6, but there's 6 people. I don't know if Jay's gonna come back, but I mean, he was here tonight. It was cool. I checked him, by the way. Don't worry. Like I said, I'm pretty good at doing that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. How are classes going? Like let's now that we've dealt with that, kind of brushing away the gnarl thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, as soon as like Quint was like trying to change the topic, it is very much that he's like trying to physically move away and like mentally move away from all of that.
Probably just have our chit chat about all that.
He talks about classes. He is still trying to learn teleportation magic. He's got a few sort of teleporty spells, but nothing big or crazy that could help them yet. But he's hoping to make some progress.
Was he there when Liliana checked us off for sparks?
He was not there. I don't think it was just you guys. I think you told Quint about it, and he didn't want to go. And I think he told you to like be careful. And like
yeah.
Like, I don't think he was 100% on board, but he trusted your call, sort of vibe.
Well, I was, there's actually like the most mega like teleport option would be like if you had a spark, and like I know I don't have one, but Kellen has one, and like he hasn't like activated it yet or whatever. But like, what maybe you could see like if you have one. I don't know. Like it's you might as well know.
There's a chance that that little stone could still be on campus somewhere.
You should really get yourself checked.
I don't know if Liliana took it with her,
Fair. That's fair. Pass that off to Quint. He sort of takes mental note. He probably asked a lot of those questions, like how you found out, gets details about the stone, the whole process, just sort of relaying all that back and forth. Okay, right. Planeswalking, sure. Kellen's a planeswalker, by the way. What? Oh, that's right. You said that. You could tell he's like obviously looking at notes as you guys have been talking for a while. He probably announced he was back in his dorm at a certain point. They need to ignite to be usable. Okay, well, you guys just need to get him ignited, and then he can solve some serious problems for us, right? He could like teleport us all around.
I don't think they can like take anyone, right? Isn't that how that works?
Oh, that's right. You did mention something about that. Okay. But still.
Maybe if they're strong enough.
I mean, ignite. I mean, Gale's been trying to use shock. Maybe I'm the one who's got to help him out, But he just doesn't seem so fireproof. Like, skin is so delicate.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about planeswalking, but I've been learning about teleportation, and I mean, honestly, a lot of that sort of stuff doesn't make sense. Weirdly enough, there's a lot of like kind of like meditation aspects in the teleportation magic I've been doing, at least to get to certain points. It's a lot of visualization and projecting yourself and, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I can pass that along to him. I mean, I don't think he's been making much progress. I think, if anything, Gale's kind of scaring him away.
I don't blame him. I mean, Yeah.
You know
I
how
mean,
intense she can get.
yeah, I mean, she's determined.
Well, update. Kellen's a father of 3 now. I don't know, 2 and a friend.
Okay,
I need to
that's
kind of update him on
crazy.
that situation.
You blow his mind. Like, I would never suspect Kellen, like, to even walk that level of responsibility.
I know. It's almost like he's trying to root himself so he
Mhm.
doesn't run off again.
Nesting.
But yeah, he'd shared like why they were talking with Zio and like how that even happened in the first place, because Zio's a Warforged guy and blah blah blah, and then that's how the conversation happened.
Probably perpetually blow Quint's mind even more throughout the convo.
And he's just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, you know, and like this crazy thing happened. I don't know. I didn't really understand it. The tea was so good, and this lemon bar recipe, he's just holding on to it with all his tentacles. I know you'd love it.
Conversation probably going on for a while. It's probably to the point where like one of your fellow party members has to like, hey, like, we're about to go, what are you doing?
oh okay. I'll be right there.
Get
Hey,
off
I gotta
the
go.
phone.
Because like you don't have to talk, so it's probably just Brett like very uncharacteristically sitting still somewhere, and it's like, yeah, he's just sitting there sending.
Are you sending? No, don't lie to me.
He's holding the stone under the table. No sending stones at dinner.
All right.
Yeah,
Anything
we're
else
gonna
particular
go
with
rescue
Quint?
Liliana.
Quint's mind. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Quint's mind is like super blown, fully letting him in on the details, and it's like it's time, and we're about to head out there. He, of course, wishes you luck. Tells you to tell everyone that they all need to be safe, and that he's excited to meet Vors eventually. So that's crazy.
Yeah, well, you know us. We always make those 1 in a million chances.
It's insane. But seriously, be safe. If things go south, don't get me wrong, I love everyone, but you need to get out of there. I love you way more than the rest of them, and I'm not afraid to tell you how biased I am.
Well, same for you and your study group. You know, at the end of the day, you can always ditch. We can find each other.
Yeah. I wish I could tell them all that you said hi.
Yeah. Well.
Eventually, you'll be able to say hi to them. Eventually, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan to be a dropout forever.
Exactly. We'll get you guys back here, and we'll all go to the Fire Jolt and get some coffees, and go to Bo's End, and it'll be just like old times.
Yeah, like Brett tries to continue the conversation, then they're like, Brett!
Yeah, I was about to do that. I was about to be like, Brett, come on!
Shit, I gotta go. Okay, I love you. Hugs,
I
kisses.
love you. As you're running off the boat as they're like probably on the actual like wayport surface itself.
Random point before we fully get away.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the amulet of hiding for Liliana? And are we keeping that on us, or are we leaving it on the
amulet
ship
of
just in case?
non-detection has been wrapped into a care bundle by Marius for her, so he's carrying it in his haversack.
And then I've got my primer on me, I've got my earring of message, I've got the elfin cloak under the get up, and I've got my wand and the group sending stone. And then I left the majority of my gold in my satchel. I split it up, but I've still got 50 gold and 5 platinum on me, just in case.
It's fair. It's fair. Aelity has her handy haversack on her, so she's fully loaded if anyone needs to put anything in her bag.
I'm leaving everything on the ship, but I don't.
I get it.
I am also leaving my stuff with Vors. So.
Vors has under one arm the sword case, the other arm the carrier, and just like a bunch of your stuff in between his hands. He's just like, okay, well, be safe, everyone.
I like to think Gale knows this like ridiculously like complicated knot that is actually just like, a slip knot that very easily comes undone. Like once you once you try and open the satchel, one of
Mhm.
those kinds of things that her mother taught her.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's done up on her satchel.
Right. There's nothing else. We would see you all depart from the Gilded Leaf, heading through Wayport itself, through the cold night air, bright stars overhead. Again, the two distinct moons, one obviously much smaller, the other one, a little bit bigger than maybe the moon you're used to. Seeing you all cross through Wayport, finding your way onto 10th Street. We'll move our map here just to vibe check.
I always forget how big this map is.
Oh, it's ginormous. And again, this is just one of the districts.
Ugh.
This place is huge. As you all cross through Wayport, find your way onto 10th Street. Following it until you all would see the various street signs labeling Foundry Street. Our party beginning to take the familiar route back to the Gore house that they had visited just a little over a day ago. So far in their travels, there's been some people out and about, but it is probably the most inactive you've seen Ravnica so far, being that it is getting close to 11 o'clock, basically, while you guys are heading out. It's just like a little under-ish an hour to sort of get there. So not too much activity. There'd be a few of those carriages being pulled by a very brightly colored, unique-looking creature. A few other patrons milling about. A lot of shops would seem to be closed. Some of the only shops that would seem to be open, there's like a 24-hour, like almost like little healthcare building. It looks very uniform, almost government-like in its presentation. A few bars, a few cafes, only a handful of restaurants. Not too many people as you guys would continue on Foundry Street. Pressing on.
I mean, that makes sense. It is late.
It's pretty late. You guys were out like kind of late before as well, but like you guys haven't sort of been out to this side where there's not sort of as much general nightlife. It's sort of a lot of people flocking to sort of a couple of big hubs. Walking down Foundry Street, our group would pass by some of those same sort of signs and postages that would advertise the Gore house itself. As well as some of the adverts that would show some of the mini shows, bars, and sort of shops that fill the Gore house. Among some of these mini ads that you would see amongst the several postings, there would be displays that would show at the big room depicting the cackling devil, the mistress of pain, and the bitch of the dead, each with their own sort of matching caricature to go with their sort of pronounced name. Some of the signs being magically animated, so they sort of move and have animation to it, almost like a LED sign as it like shimmers from one ad to another ad. Some of them being much more simple, just like a plastered ad on the side of a building sort of vibe. Continuing on, it wouldn't take too terribly long to traverse down Foundry Street as as you all follow the, again, various signs and displays that would very easily guide you to the Gore house itself. Finally coming upon this massive obsidian castle with many people seeming to come and go from this gothic giant keep. This place is like a magnet for nightlife activity, you can tell. The last time you all saw this place, it was in the middle of the day, yesterday. But this place would look sort of slightly out of place now that you've seen it in the day and how odd it was, and now at night seeing how it comes alive. This place looking right at home with these large sort of light-based fires that sort of come up across some of its peaks. Its sharp bladed edges almost glimmer with the firelight that sort of lights this entire obsidian castle. As you all begin to sort of make your way to one of the crowds that's sort of pressing through, beginning to head in, it's like almost reminiscent of like a Disney line, sort of getting into Disney World, where it's just like a bunch of people moving towards some of these kiosks. But whereas kiosk is just this like giant opening sort of main entranceway. As you all sort of join this crowd, watching you all enter, sort of pressing towards the Gorehouse's central entrance, everyone give me perception checks as you're all sort of wading through these people, making sure you guys are at least staying in a somewhat of a group fashion, as there's kind of like a shoulder-to-shoulder vibe here. There's a little bit of space, but pretty tight pack people coming and going from this place. Nice, Kellen.
Nice, another 19. I'm distracted.
There's too much going on.
So now that we're in line, this is only the second time that she's going to a show, or this is the first time going to a show, and the last time we went to a show.
Oh.
I
feel like I need to make a con save or something.
That's fair. That's fair. You tell me if that con save is normal, advantage, disadvantage.
I think we'll go normal for this.
Haha, get his
trauma.
All right.
You steal yourself. You kind of maybe do some like
breathing.
grounding techniques. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep breathing. You're sort of like feeling your feet in your boots with like every step as you're sort of moving, just sort of breathing in this kind of brisk night air, and it's fairly late. It's a very slight chill to the air.
Okay. So normal checks.
Give me a perception check, Gail.
Ooh. Little too focused on breathing.
While you are centered and you are stable, you are not paying too close attention to your surroundings.
But you hold it together. It's important.
She's like, "Oh, where's my ticket? Where's my ticket?"
Probably Brett being our sort of lowest check of the bunch, outside of Gail's just like only paying attention to moving, probably having to need her friends to be like, "Hey, over here, you're getting pulled away. Come on." Brett, you would notice a lot of different people from all walks of life seem to be entering and exiting the Gore House. Some seem very open and joyous about their sort of evening here, while you can tell there are definitely some individuals trying to sort of conceal their identity. Some using, traditional tactics like hoods and like maybe like sort of bland, basic clothing to blend in, trying to match with the general surroundings. And there's even some that straight up have masks on, just completely covering their face and like clothing that would obscure any part of their physical form. Guessing that there are likely people that would hate to be seen in such a place as the Gore House, and like social standards and the strange, sort of political hierarchy that is Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people that just like to dress up at night. Fuck it, went at the Gore House. Marius, you would pick up on some of these concealed individuals sort of scattered about as well. In the mix of just, fairly standard folk, much like yourself, a lot of them would have these sort of black and red aesthetics to their Ravnica clothing. But sort of taking in the bustling crowd you're currently walking in, you'd see this sort of wide array of folks around you. But as you're sort of looking at this sort of group sort of coming and going, there would be these small pockets of people sort of nestled in the crowd almost moving around them. These small pockets of maybe 2 or 3 people would have these blue and white robes on. These individuals almost seem to be, again, almost like standing like islands. As you begin to approach a pair of them, you probably pick up them, probably calling out. Again, they're not right next to you, but probably a good 20, 30 feet away from you, and some of this moving crowd heading towards the entrance. Seeing one of these almost like scholarly meets a cleric type robed blue and white individuals call out, "Please seek aid for your depraved preferences. The Azorius Reclamation Center offers free services to correct the path of your life choices." Attempting to hand out what looks like these stacks of leaflets to people, while not a single person is engaging in taking one of these leaflets or even acknowledging these blue and white robed individuals. And pressing on with our best role, Kellen. Picking up on a lot of those general details, you see the blue and white robed individuals, the heavy mix of different heritage and cultures throughout just this crowd alone. even though there is a pronounced, black and red Rakdos aesthetic, there's men of all walks of life here. And as you're looking at some of these sort of individuals concealing their identity, I'm sort of looking past some of the what looks like these blue and white robed individuals sort of standing outside the gore house trying to get attention, getting none. You can see what looks like off to the side. Not really in a group, but sort of peppered in the crowd. 3 or 4 individuals. They seem to be moving around the crowd with these sort of keen and focused looks on their faces. You take them in, Kellen. They're focused. Watching as one of these individuals begins to move close to what looks like an unsuspecting large orc. This happening maybe 30, 40 feet away as some of the crowd nearby is parting. You get glimpses of this as this hooded individual would step close to this orc, hand going awfully close to their waist, before you see what looks like a vague visage of a spectral hand sort of magically appear. The hooded individual fiddling with something on their finger, creating this spectral hand that plucks something off of the orc's belt, bringing it back to the hooded individual as they sort of take it and give a half step back. You see this pickpocketing take place like 30, 40 feet away from you, and you're like, what the fuck did I just see? And before you notice anything, you maybe give a half glance back, and maybe 5, 6 feet behind you is a very similarly looking individual. They would have this very bland brown cloak that would go down, a very baggy hood sort of pulled up, their collar being tucked up to sort of obfuscate the face a little bit as it's set back in this hood. You would see on their hand a ring on the same finger that the other thief was sort of fiddling with to create that spectral hand he used to pickpocket. You would get sort of a look out of the corner of your eye as, again, they're just a couple of feet behind your group, beginning to move towards Gale. They look very determined at Gale's back, sort of taking a couple steps closer. In this brief second, what do you want to do?
So they're within range of my tentacles. Without like causing a scene or anything, can I have one of the tentacles reactively like go to grab their hand, like a grapple?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, give me we'll do an athletics or an acrobatics check.
And you said the hand was coming up to me.
Yeah, this figure was like beginning to move up. One of his hands beginning to move to his like ringed finger. Where
Natural 1. Oh, whoa. This is right. I gotta walk up now. Okay.
One of your tentacles just like whoosh, whips out to the side and sort of catches this dude's hand as it goes to fiddle with his ringed hand. It sort of like pulls back and he sort of looks over at you as he is just like, again, just like right to your side, maybe like 6-7 feet just off to your side.
And just kind of walk up to him and just be like, what you doing there, bud?
I'm not doing anything. Just trying to go to the shows. Nothing. Like pulls away their hand like from your tentacles, sort of breaking that.
What's that ring do? What's that ring do there? You saw you fiddling with that. Nah,
Nothing.
Don't lie to me. I caught you. No.
Buzz off, and he tries to break away and move through the crowd
do I need
away
like
from
a
you.
check or anything to hold him in place?
Yeah, you can do another athletics or acrobatics with advantage, since he kind of like loosely kind of tried to push you away. Like you maybe loosen the grip, and then he just tries to take the step back, and you sort of keep on tight on the wrist as he sort of jerks back towards you.
Citizens
Look,
arrest.
I don't know what you're accusing me of, but yeah, I can go get some of those Azurius over there. Let them know that you're grabbing me for no reason in this crowd.
I just saw one of your friends do the same thing that you were trying to do to us, so I'm sure that they would love to hear about what's going on there.
Yes, let's go. Come. And she, you would guess, begins to like pull your tentacles, like, come, let's go. And is like trying to pull you towards these blue, white robed individuals. The rest of the group, the rest of you, probably picking up on this exchange now. Like this person now, like almost not really starting a scene, but just like kind of getting loud. Like, yeah, let's go over there then. Come on.
Gale suddenly being the last to turn around. Wait, Kellen, what's going on?
Your friend here, he's grabbing
this
me
little thief
out of
is trying to
nowhere.
steal stuff off you. She's got this ring that uses mage hand. Was trying to lift shit off you, Gale.
Do I see a mage hand around?
Give me a perception check, Gale.
Oh god.
Damn it.
No.
Rolling strong.
Nothing. As you sort of like glance around, there's nothing. I mean, from what you saw, you turned around, Kellen had a tentacle on this person's wrist. It's pretty tight on their wrist. I mean, they can't get away. They're trying to almost pull Kellen, and they're throwing out accusations.
I mean, that doesn't sound like our friend. I mean, I'm sure we're all just excited to go check out the show, right,
Yeah,
Kellen?
excited. And he just glares at her.
Will you let her go?
Fine. Loosens up the tentacle.
As soon as it's loose, she's trying to like break back away into the crowd. Like this time, if she can, she's like ducking her head down, trying to obfuscate. Few onlookers are probably looking over at this like very light pause in traffic that the sea of people is kind of just moving around you all at this point.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Everyone,
Keep your eyes peeled,
everyone double
guys.
check yourselves. I'm just gonna check my pocket.
Yeah, because it's loud, I'll use the group messaging stone and just. Guys, we just need to
Sorry, I'm a
stay
little pumped up.
focused and under the radar. You know, we stopped the thief. We don't have to make a thing of it. But
Sorry, I'm just
let's
a little like
stay
hyped here,
focused.
man. This is intense.
No, it's
As I get back in line with my 6 perception, am I missing anything of the very little stuff that I brought with me?
You do
The
a pat
biggest,
down.
honestly, her biggest concern would be the wand. So, like,
I mean,
do I
yeah,
have
I
my
would
wand?
Yeah, you do the
so
pat down. All
hard.
you guys are good. Thanks to Kellen, you think you may have stopped a robbing. You know, Kellen, you know for sure you did stop a robbing. Everyone else is just taking you at your word.
We're just trying to focus
tried
on
to
staying
fucking
low,
rob you,
okay?
Dale.
I mean, that's just what
Oh, wait.
happens in these crowds, man.
Within Ravnica.
Look, I'll roll with it. I'll believe you, but we don't need to
Well,
cause a scene, all
fine,
right?
You know what? When your wand goes missing
you.
next time, don't come looking for me.
Yeah, right here.
One's missing.
Ah!
I'll kill you all.
Starts throwing fireballs.
Well, she could summon her storm sphere.
Oh, it was right here. My mistake. Half the building's gone.
Seeing you all sort of continue on moving with the crowd, that minor break sort of pressing away, that hooded individual seemed to be gone. Kellen with the 22 still, or with your 19 still, looking about. You maybe do catch one of these individuals that is wearing very similar garb to the girl that you caught. Maybe slightly standing in the crowd, definitely watching you all, before turning around and walking the opposite way, away from the gore house, as you all are beginning
fuck.
to enter.
God damn it. God damn it. Fucking god damn it.
I can't remember. How are our seats? Like, are we pretty close to the stage? Did we like suss that out already?
You guys will pick seats when you get there. I think that was mentioned. But you guys did pay for the meal portion, because that was part of it. So you guys had that as an option.
I feel like you should have let them try, because like I've got my little hidden pouch for my gold, and I don't know if anyone would check my arm for my wand. You know,
I think I may have made a mistake, guys. I think we're being watched now.
I also only have 100 gold on me currently, and some spare coins.
Well,
That's
we'll keep our eye out, Kellen. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now. You did the
fucked
right
this
thing.
guy.
Stop
You
there.
fucked this whole mission.
I'm not dogging the choice. I probably would have done it too.
I love it. I mean, you're a cop again. You're back on the cop arc.
You slap the hand and you move on.
If I was in your shoe, like I get it, I would have done that. It would have been funny though to watch me get pickpocketed with my one.
That's what I'm saying. Like they just saw that you weren't paying attention, so they were gonna hope for the best, even though you were honestly the worst target because you brought probably the least
I didn't
stuff.
bring anything.
I brought the least stuff. I put my money in a special little pouch in my pocket, or like right on my inside my waistband. So they really would have had to get in there.
Mhm.
Dylan didn't bring
So I
anything.
keep money in my
with
sock.
him. He put all of his stuff on the ship.
Yeah.
This was supposed to just.
So you could be robbing people.
Gil's learned you need at least a little coin to work with. You can't leave all your coin behind, but she left the vast majority at home. Well,
Brett
on the
brought
ship.
all the shit. I mean, it's light to him. Like, he's a little weird to not have his shit on his back.
I'm a nomad. That's what I do.
He's like Lee
Solid.
from Naruto. Like, if he dropped all his shit, his speed would increase.
So good.
Broccoli's the shit.
Yeah.
All right. As we would watch our group of 5 walk through the giant entryway, stepping into the interior, you all would enter the familiar, almost mall-like entryway courtyard here, seeing what looks like a few ground-level lounges and sort of statues and art pieces, very much like sort of like mall lounge areas where it's just like some chairs and like shrubs in a corner. It's like these like black leather couches with like red sewing with these like really gnarly looking trees, a couple of really like brutish looking statues with like looks like depicting gruesome acts of like a giant orc just like cutting through what looks like an elf, and just all sorts of crazy shit just sort of spread around. As all along the walls of the ground floor there looks to be various shops, keeps, and stores. Almost all of them look open. A couple of them would appear to be closed. And along with that, you would see what looks like many different sort of walkways, stairs that go up to different levels and plateaus. That sort of lead to all these different stairs seem to lead to many different sort of platforms, corridors, and sort of upper sections of what looks like more storefronts and the like. The obsidian stone and sort of dark wood build of this place just giving it a real sort of gothic aesthetic on the interior. All of the lights would be these sort of open fire pits and these sort of large what would they be, like a brazier. These braziers sort of like strategically placed about. There would be like a large almost flaming chandelier that comes down in this center courtyard. It has this almost again sharp bladed gothic vibe meets like Mall of America almost. Just this massive space that feels almost endless with shops and places to visit. But here on the ground floor, seeing the sort of main sections about the sort of branch off, it would be very easy to see that almost on the opposite side of the space would be the fairly sized entrance for what looks like the big room, as it would have these letters that sort of go up, arcing over the sort of, again, pretty large looking doorway here. The lettering looking almost like heated metal as it sort of sears and boils up above the entranceway. There would be a good amount of people beginning to move into the space, as well as a couple people trickling out, not very many leaving, more beginning to enter. All of you easily being able to check the time, as there's probably many different time pieces about the space. It's pretty close to 11. You guys are arriving maybe like 11:10 sort of vibes. So you guys will basically like get in and hopefully get everything situated with plenty of time. Moving across the space, you guys would pass through the interior of the courtyard, where you would go to this, again, almost large hallway like entrance for the big room. As soon as you're with this crowd entering this space, you all would step over the threshold and you would feel this almost magical suction as what you expected to be more of like a large hallway would almost have shifted to a little bit more small, magically lit overhead stone hallway that sort of spreads on. The stone floor would have this black and red carpet that goes all the way down the center of it with some sort of stone still exposed on the sides. There'd be a few art pieces on the wall just to keep people entertained as you enter this long hallway, seeing that it would sort of stretch on for maybe 30, 40 feet, where there would be 8, 9 people in line at what looks like a dead end of this hallway. That's basically just like a windowed kiosk where there seems to be a person on the opposite side of the glass helping whoever's at the front, dealing with some tickets, maybe answering some questions before you would watch them sort of step off to the side and vanish through the wall. And then the next person in line would come up. And all of you sort of joining this queue to enter the venue, basically. In this magically lit stone hallway. Anything particular from you guys as we're waiting in line for, maybe 6, 7 minutes? Line's moving fairly quickly.
I can't help but imagine that we're all like kind of weirdly quiet because we're talking exclusively through the group sending sound.
That's fair. That's very fair. I love that.
Well, I guess now I'd be a little on edge looking out for more of those people in robes that Kellen saw.
Give me a perception check.
I don't think I saw like what he saw, but like I was aware of them.
Yeah,
I mean, so I'm kind of
you guys at least all took in the girl and sort of what she was wearing.
Trying to mind the peoples that
Don't take my
minded
bits.
me.
What was their garb like? Because it wasn't the blue robes.
Brown.
No, they had like
like a
these
subtle
long brown cloaks, sort of a high collared, what looks like almost like a coat underneath, the baggy hood pulled up high, faces very sunken in, so where you could kind of make out facial features, but it was very hard to actually discern exactly who someone was.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, did you say everyone?
Yeah, if you guys are all sort of just on the general lookout for unsavory folk.
This works.
Yeah,
'cause I
they're
feel like
almost getting pickpocketed.
I feel like Brett's just looking at the art.
Then if I can
Hey,
throw it in there, I would be
working
trying to
up.
like clock any guards, like what the security kind of looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do I see that? Okay, so there's like 2 people by that door. Okay, nothing else. That kind of vibe.
That's fair. That's fair. As we're all taking in the space, Gale, Brett, yeah, not really noticing too much. Again, it's a fairly simple hallway that again sort of dead ends at this windowed kiosk. Marius, Kellen, as you guys are taking in, you don't see any of these, similarly clothed figures that you guys sort of bumped into. Kellen sort of looking further, or not Kellen, Marius sort of looking further down this hallway. You don't even see any other entrances. You don't see any guards. You see what looks like an elf, like maybe dark gray hair. Her irises look entirely black, kind of like grayish tone to their skin. Sort of hard to take in too many details because you're about like 5, 6 people behind at this point.
Mhm.
But they're the only other person besides all of you currently in line. Maybe turn back around, give another take, because there'd be some people behind you guys at this point. A few more people joining the queue. Nothing that looks too out of sorts. There'd be a few lone people in line, not interacting with anyone, but most people would be in pairs to 3 to 4 people. So it's like these little pockets of people just sort of moving up in this line as you guys get closer and closer to the front.
I suppose. Okay.
Brett would ask who's doing the talking.
What? Are we just handing tickets? Do we have to talk?
If there is.
Who has the tickets? Is it like paper tickets? Is it that kind of vibe?
Brett was the one who handled the transaction originally, so I mean, I guess unless anyone asked for them, he would have held on to them for everyone.
Fair. That makes sense.
So maybe we'll just let Brett handle it with the tickets, and I'll just like help him out.
Got it, boss.
Who could question sweet innocent Brett?
He doesn't look so sweet and
He's a
innocent
pierced
anymore.
man,
He's
yeah.
a pierced man now.
It's right.
Yeah.
His body's been mutilated.
All of you
Lord.
guys have at least one tattoo.
Yeah, but mine's just saloons, so it's forgiven.
Is that how it works?
That's what I tell myself.
I love it. Couple of minutes passing. You all would finally get to the front of the line, seeing that, again, this hallway would just dead end into this kiosk that takes up the entirety of what should be just the final wall of this hallway, but it'd have this thick pane of glass. On the opposite side, the sort of attendant would be this elf woman, dark gray skin, her eyes and irises being entirely black. Her hair would have these fine black streaks sort of coming off the base, almost like an ombre, but it's like a very weak fade. Her face would have two simple line tattoos that sort of go from the ear across the bridge of the nose and end about midway through the other cheek. She would have what looks like a pretty tight looking black and red corset with sort of this red fishnet top over the top with these long black fingerless gloves, sort of sitting there leaning up over what looks like a couple of books and a couple of looks like panels of different stones. As you all are sort of next in line, seeing that the people in front of you and probably the last couple of people, you'd watch them step up, a little bit of exchange, and then they would just walk into the left wall, like immediately left of this little dead end kiosk, and just pass through the wall. So as you guys are approaching, next up in line, excellent. Are we looking to buy tickets? Do you already have tickets?
Got them ahead of time. We're planners.
Ah,
Can't
lovely
miss out on
darlings.
this.
This will be easy. Tickets, please. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Do you all have a preference on your actual seatings? There is plenty of space still in the dance quarter, though in the lower spectating quarter, we still have plenty of seats open as well. The audiences quite prefer to come in fashionably late.
Oh, well, I think, we want to be as close to the action as possible. Like, as close to the stage as you can get us, I think. We don't want to miss a thing.
It's true.
Excellent. Close up in the spectating area. And there's 5 of you. Now, from stage view, back at the stage, off to the left side, sort of by the stairs, is that going to be all right? You won't have the overhead, so you'll have a high ceiling over your heads in like the back spectating area. Though, of course, we are always told to remind, even the back spectating area has the perfect view thanks to our patented illusion technology presented by the Izzet Guild.
Mm. I know that Liliana described to us where she is on the stage. Can you remind me of that?
Yeah, she said she's basically dead center when her sort of little prison cage rises up from the floor and the walls drop down to the ground. She's like dead center exposed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds good. Is there gonna be anyone in front of us? I just want to mentally prepare.
There is a standing table immediately in front of you, a little bit to your left, again, looking at the stage point of view. There will be a couple of smaller tables, though I don't imagine those will be too terribly full. Usually the larger parties like to sit further in the back, a little bit more comfy spacing. You will be in independent chairs. This isn't a booth, just a reminder, if that's all right.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. And of course, you're here for food service. And she's like just signing off stuff in this book and like stamping your tickets with this like whole press and like an actual physical stamp every time in these little boxes.
Wait, sorry, what kind of seats did you say we had again?
Oh, these are going to be separate, not like separate seats, but they're individual seats around a round table. We do have, again, comfier booths and sort of rounded off sections are in the spectating floor in the lower pit.
But we're not like in a balcony seat.
No. I mean,
No.
Okay.
There is a balcony overlook section if on the dance floor portion. I would
Gail-
say it is a fairly good view, but it is standing room only in those particular spots. We choose not to have seats at our bars.
Gail's trying to roughly and discreetly guesstimate if these are good seats for the dispel magic.
right. I mean, Brett asked for like as close to the state as possible, so.
Mhm.
Just wanted to make sure.
You know, I heard a rumor there's like a special birthday girl here tonight. You don't happen to be able to share that with me.
Oh, trust me, I'm sure it'll be hard to miss. Many people are here either for the celebration or for the libations.
Good to know.
Yes, Madame Opeth Bane is in fact here. She will, I'm sure, have a small gesture of appreciation, probably given by Smiley. They are old friends, after all.
Mm. Well, glad we picked tonight. Sounds good. Sure, it's gonna be an exciting night.
Of course, it'll be a great night. Now, if there's no further questions, she's like looking at a different tome, sort of off to her side. Brinthil will show you to your seats. Enjoy the food. If you have any further questions, she'll be more than happy to help out. And thank you for coming to the big room.
Thanks for your help tonight. Have a
Yeah,
good
thank
one.
you so much.
Sort of passes the tickets back to you guys. Feel free to keep those. You don't have to. Of course, you've been logged into the journal, so we'll be able to verify anything if need be.
A record.
You could just burn them up in your hand.
No, I mean the book. I mean, the art
Oh.
don't really matter. It's fine. I mean, none of this is being said aloud.
Yeah, and like no one gave their names or anything, so it's like, at worst they clock down like physical appearance and like the groupings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you would see this sort of almost like gray-toned elf sort of motion off to their right. Please just step right through there, and again, Brinthil will help you all.
Thank you. This way, guys.
Into the wall.
It's very much like a platform 9 3/4 sort of thing,
Yep.
where you guys just walk through this stone wall, just whoom. You guys would immediately feel, even under your boot, you would step down on wooden floor instead of stone. Sort of stepping into this space, there would be a gray-toned, sort of stone-walled, almost like small entryway, almost like reception area. Standing in front of you in this small, well-lit space with a couple of very bright sconces sort of mirroring some of the doors and the sort of doorway you guys just walk through. As you would see, you stepped into the space, and there are 2 double doors behind you, very heavy metal double doors, but you guys obviously just walked through a wall to get in. Seeing in front of you... Oh,
Can I use Arcana to see if it was a portal or just an illusion?
yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's smart.
19?
Ooh, with a 19, you get to feel that was an illusion. There's probably a lot about this place that's going to be an illusion.
Okay, so from my Arcana, does that technically mean that there is like a hole in the wall there?
I mean, you would think so. It's just like a walkway. I mean, there may be some sort of system that has some other effect on it, but yeah.
But we didn't get like portaled through a wall. We just walked.
No, it didn't feel like teleportation or anything. It very much felt like just walking through a space and now you're here. It it didn't even feel like when you entered the hallway to get in here. You almost felt that magical, very minor shunt of your space being sort of warped around you, whether that was deep like evocation, illusion magic, or very minor teleportation. It's hard to tell. But that was noticeable. This was just like, oh, we walked through a wall and now we're in this like little entry welcoming room.
Okay.
Just curious, is the noise also like blocked out? Like any chatter that could have been from the line? Like, is it different now in this space?
It is just like dead quiet as you enter into this space. There would be Just a fine smell of like rich woods in this space. A little bit of smell of like burning wood almost, but very welcome in this not really barren, but fairly simple looking space. A couple of those similar art pieces would be along the wall, a couple of statues, a small desk to the side, a small cabinet over there. You would see there would be what looks like a kind of like a single, almost what you would assume to be like a back employee door, sort of off to your left. While straight ahead of you from where you entered, you would see what looks like two wrought iron, almost cage doors, where you could look through it, at least from right here without even moving. And you would see what looks like an open dance floor, like sort of red and white checkered. You can see there are some figures moving about this, what looks like dance space, though you can't hear anything. So again, almost dead quiet. And as you all sort of step into the space, immediately there'd be this very almost punk-esque looking dwarf woman holding what looks like a few of these hard booklet style menus in one hand. Very similar to Gale's, she would have not one but both sides of her head like fully shaved back into this like kind of propped up, almost pompadour mohawk sort of vibe. Very dark red coloration. She had like this black and red makeup aesthetic. As you all sort of like take in. All right. Good to have you all here. Right this way, loves. And she just immediately, like after taking the five of you in, would just begin to turn and head towards those double, like wrought iron, almost cage-like doors to open up and enter. Stepping into the space as you all begin to follow Toe as she opens the door, holding it open. And even when it's open, you guys don't hear anything. And as you all cross the threshold into this, what looks like open, almost nightclub dance space, you would immediately begin to hear some pretty like fast-paced like lute playing mixed with drum playing. There's like some metal tuning instruments almost being played, almost, for us, what would be like a lot of like hi-hats being thrown into a very fast, high beat song. But it's very different from a lot of music that you guys have heard, especially for you, Marius. I mean, you've been around, but this ambient music that seems to be sourceless as you guys enter the space, you see no musicians, but this loud music would fill the space. As you all enter, there'd be some tables off to your left and off to your right, some in their own little personal enclaves. There wouldn't be too many people quite yet, though there would be about maybe 50% capacity or so. Some tables being filled, some tables not being filled. Throughout the dance floor, there would seem to be these illusionary figures sort of moving and dancing about the space. Not too many living folks can you see dancing about. Many of what you would call the living would just be sitting about the sides at their tables, enjoying what looks like food and drink. Everyone give me some perception checks as Brenthil begins to lead you all across this illusionary covered dance space where these figures are dancing and moving.
Keeping it consistent.
There's too much going on here, man.
I don't know how to roll above a 12 for seeing today.
Marius is just too upset about the music. He's a purist. He thinks music should be played by people and not magic. Maybe he's lecturing Brett on it.
Hey, that's fair. And this place is a little like sensory, at least shock, as again the lighting would go from like a soft, welcoming lighting in that entry space to a little bit more of like a moodier lighting on the interior. No like strobes or anything, but there would be these almost like flashes in the sconces and sort of upper, what looks like these almost flaming circle chandeliers that sort of go in a line sort of across the dance space. There would be these sort of red tones that would take over the light for a minute. The illusionary figure sort of sharing that. I'd imagine everyone besides Marius, which is fair. Marius seeing that these are all like kind of illusionary creatures all dancing about this space that you're kind of navigating your way through. Brenthil probably just like abruptly walking through illusions, not caring whether you guys are trying to dodge them or not. But the rest of you, besides Marius, you probably get distracted as again, you thought that some of these figures were just, just dancing about as you're walking through this crowd of dancing illusions. There are some brutal scenes kind of going amidst casual dancing. You see one illusion grab another illusion and just rip its arms off as the illusion falls down. The illusion continues as the one that ripped off the arms just pounces on top and gores through it before they both dissipate and reappearing dancing. You can see what looks like a tall orc just take their hand and smash what looks like a gnome that was just dancing in front of it, and then begins to just stomp on its illusionary remains before they dissipate and reappear dancing. It's just sort of mixed about in the atmosphere of this place.
Fucked up.
I went there.
One of those people are protesting outside.
House.
We should have grabbed some fire.
It's pretty gross for those of you that like see it a few times. It's like, oh shit. But Marius, while you do see that and you're like, they're illusions, I get it, they're illusions, all right. You get distracted by some of the other tables. Again, so like 50% capacity passing through the dance space, heading towards what looks like these two bars that are sort of twinned right next to each other. And sort of flanking the far left and far right of these twin bars, there are stairs that lead down to what look like a lower spectating area. Some of you may be even looking over and seeing that even from this distance, about midway through the dance floor, you can already get a not great view, but you can see where the stage is. And the closer you approach these stairs that lead down to a lower floor, you can fully take in the stage. But Marius, looking at some of the tables passing by, heading to this lower floor, almost every table, yeah, there's a few exceptions, but almost every table, they're drinking from these glass, wine glasses, very fine and ornate, with a very thick looking red wine in it. And it sort of lingers around as you see someone take a drink. It sort of lingers on the edge of the glass as it slowly pools back down into the glass. It's
not wine.
A little weird.
It's got
That
legs.
wine has some crazy legs.
Mm-hmm. It's got a high alcohol content. I'm gonna go ahead and reach into my pocket and use the sending message stone to just everybody and be like, this place is fucked up. These illusions are freaking me out. I'm pretty sure people are drinking blood out of chalices.
This place is super fucking unsettling. I definitely agree with you.
I think we might have to. I don't know.
This really is like the fucked up version of my life. Like I've been to events like with that started out with the same kind of vibe, like we have personal assistant, we have like dining tables. No, we've never watched stuff like this.
Just when the saloon is going on. Yeah, and he would, but on the outside, he's gonna try and stay composed as possible.
I get it. What may be more unsettling is some of these figures you may look at that are drinking this strange red liquid. You would go, oh, they're probably a vampire of some kind. I could see it. But some of them are dragonborn. Some of them are tiefling. Some of them look like they have elf heritage. It's just like Ravnica itself. There is a wide variety of people here consuming.
And would I assume these other species to be vampires? Like, can Dragonborn be vampires, right?
I would say with a little bit that you know, especially again from college days, that you know that Dragonborn could very well become vampire.
So it's
You're
kind
not
of
sure
like
what that looks like, but you think it's possible. So it's like a magical disease, basically, like a curse, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
there's a chance these are all like a bunch of different vampires, or they're just into some weird shit.
Exactly. It could be a couple.
Okay,
Could be a couple of things at play.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Also, I do have Marius and Brett sitting next to me at our table, correct?
Have we sat down yet? Have we made it to the table?
You guys haven't quite made it to the table,
Okay.
but yeah, seating
Oh,
is
okay,
completely
sorry.
up to you guys.
I thought we had sat down. My bad.
You guys are
No, we're
making
still
your
walking.
way. Yeah, you're like mid walk, and Marius just kind of like let out the alert via sending stone, like this place is fucked and it's scary and fucked.
Yes, I thought he like did that as we sat down. That's fine.
Nah.
You guys are like midway through the dance floor. You and everyone else distracted by the illusions, like randomly dancing and then just killing each other brutally for like way too long.
Over the setting stone, I'm gonna be like, I think we should try and order just like a red wine, just so we kind of slightly fit in, at least, passively with color. It's not gonna be that obvious. I feel like ordering a white would be weird.
Well, I'm glad you're putting a lot of thought into our wine selection, but let's just check out this menu first.
Oh no, we're not actually drinking it. I don't want any.
I know, but I have a weird feeling that this menu is not going to be what we think it is.
Hopefully, they have some normal red.
Can I look for the birthday girl?
With blood.
Yeah, with your 4, you're sort of looking around the space, trying not to get distracted. And this upper level, you're not seeing anything that would make you think that they're, sort of the center of attention, birthday girl that you sort of heard of. And being led across the dance floor, you guys would sort of reach these stairs that again would go down maybe 10 or so feet, maybe 12 feet. They would head down to this like lower, again, almost pit area. It sits a little bit more level with the stage that is kind of front and center. The stage itself isn't terribly massive, looking to be only about 35 feet in length and maybe only about 20-ish feet in depth at most. So it's not even that big or grand, very well lit, even though it has its sort of front curtains up, obfuscating most of it, as it would be sort of parted open, dark back, sort of with dark moody lighting. You can see a little bit further into it. Another curtained back, as it's kind of like a strange vibe, as nothing's really happening there, but it's incredibly lit. Being led down to this sort of a lower pit area, now you would see what looks like probably more what you expected. Many different tables and small, like almost standing bars would sort of go on for about 50, 60 feet. There would be this sort of overhang where you could see there would be a balcony, a bit of a shelf that overlooks this portion. And that balcony, that shelf, essentially being right at the back of those 2 twin bars. The bar of that sort of upper dance floor sort of nestled right up against this back balcony. So there aren't too many onlookers or overviewers, but you can kind of see the tops of a few heads of people standing at the bar that are fairly tall. Looking around at the general pit sort of around you, this sort of more seating restaurant-esque area. Brenthil would only take a sidestep over once you guys move down the steps, as your table is right by these stairs, just like immediately to the left as you come down to this pit floor. Brett, I would say at this point, as Brenthil steps over to this table, sort of motions with the menu, here you all are, as you all begin to sit sort of further back, like into this pit area. Again, more obfuscated. It would have its own, again, like a sort of roof where that overhang is. Receding back is this sort of up on a pedestal, long rectangle table, very much like a higher seating area, like an event table. And you would see what looks like many figures sort of peppered around this large rectangle table. And in the center would be this pale-skinned, dark red-haired looking woman. She would be a little bit gaunt, her nails very long, painted black. She'd have red eyeshadow on, red lipstick, very tight black dress. She would very much have this like Jesus at the table with all of her disciples are on her left and right, basically, with just like what looks like a gaggle of other like socialites, honestly. While I'm sure many of them would have these noble standings, all of them have this like rich kid vibe and aesthetic that you probably saw a couple of times at college. And it just sort of oozes that vibe as you see all like the people at this very back table just sort of having their own merry time, being as loud as they like, not too over loud or obnoxious, but enough to where it's like you probably hear them pipe up with laughter every now and again. As you guys sort of sit down at your table here in this space, even down here in the pit, Again, the mini tables and sort of freestanding little small bars that sort of pepper the area. Even it's about 50% capacity in here. Mary is seeing that many other people here would be drinking this wine, probably hearing the laughter from the assumed Lady Bane in the back. You can see they would all have glasses of this very dark, almost thick red wine. Brenthil sort of showing you all as you all take your seats. Oh, excellent. All right, now we got you all here. Did you want to place drink orders now? Did you want to maybe place food orders now? We have plenty of service time available still, so whatever works for y'all.
Oh, I think I'll need some time
Yeah.
with the menu personally.
What do they have for wine? Normal red, hopefully. Yeah, no, that's not said out loud. She's looking over the menu.
Brenthil would sort of pass out to each of you these, again, almost like hardback little booklet menus that you almost open up. Not too many items, but a fair amount of items. Looking at the prices, you're like, oh man, this is going to be a whole thing. Thought we paid for food, but everything has a gold price next to it. And as you all maybe take the menus and maybe give them a once over, Brenthil probably interrupting each of you as you're just sort of taking in the menu. And did we need a blood menu tonight? Is anyone partaking?
You know what? We'll just take one, just to pass it around, just in case.
Oh, right, sure.
I just stare daggers at Marius, like, what the fuck? No.
I want to see what these people are doing.
Sort of placing the blood menu down. Brenthil sort of looking at you all. Well, all right. Well, y'all just take a look. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Actually, before you get too deep into it, did you want to pay for full experience tonight, or is my services going to be okay?
What is
full experience?
I'm so sorry. I should have asked if y'all were new here. That is totally on me. We have a select menu of figures in which you can select maybe kind of noteworthy figures. Some of them are a bit more nondescript, and they will be your server, where you are allowed to treat them as you see fit. Since these full experience waiters are a very unique big room, patented, lifelike recreation of these figures, much like upstairs, but a little bit more real to the touch.
Oh
my peak.
Trying to hide the horror. You know what? I think we'll just stick to your services tonight.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
Excellent. Well, y'all take a quick 5. Do your thing. I'll be right back with some water.
What is milk of the moon shark?
Oh, milk of the moon shark. Oh, it's delicious. So there are moon sharks in certain spheres that we personally send out mercenaries to go curate, where they are able to actually extract their. It's kind of like a marrow. It's a little bit different. It is very much like a milk, though. When the sharks, they fight themselves, that's usually why they do it. It's so they can ingest this liquid. And so we have found that when distilled properly, it makes for a very tangy beverage.
Oh.
Was you ready for that normal twist at the end?
Yeah, I think I'm going to need a minute with this menu.
Right, and not to worry, I'll be back with some waters. And Brenthil would sort of like turn back, head up the stairs that are just right next to you guys, heading back up to that top level.
I'm so scared to order anything from this menu now.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just not eat or drink anything, but I'll order stuff.
That feels so wasteful. If we're gonna order it, we have to eat it.
What are you talking
Something
about?
died for that meal on your plate.
My money back on the ship.
Yeah, also, to be fair, these aren't real anythings, okay? I will waste anything in TNT. That's what it's here for. It's a world of infinite resources, and this Matt gets a little, really into it. Well, there's the trade embargo 50 years ago.
I'm almost scared to ask what anything else is now. I think I should just order and eat it and not ask questions.
Well, I'm like trying to toe the line of like, is this a vampire party? And she's just gonna be like, why are you guys here? Like, vamp night. I'm like, I don't know.
wanted to be part of the cool kids.
Confused.
Um,
I don't think so.
Again, you saw some people not drinking blood. It was just a high
Okay.
majority of people were drinking blood.
Blood, okay. Okay, that makes me feel better. It's like, great.
So you're definitely in the minority of people drinking the blood. But again, you're not alone. There are others.
How does Saloon feel about vampires?
That's a good question.
I would think no.
I think she doesn't like it.
But then again, vampires are okay under her light, so
Well, she's just a gracious goddess. I'll go ahead and burn them for her.
I just wanted to, before we get much further along, just like reorient myself with like how far are we from the stage and how far are we from the party girl? Like, did we accidentally kind of place ourselves close to where her group is at?
Yeah, I mean, so you're about 20 feet away from the actual stage's edge itself. So you guys are super close to the stage.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Perfect.
And you would know that the party girl, because you guys are essentially like right over your heads. If you guys were to look up, there's a very high ceiling. You guys can see the edge of that overlooking balcony. But immediately to your left, like underneath that lip where that balcony overlooks, it goes into this, yeah, it almost would look maybe subterranean in aesthetic. But it's just this like kind of like furthered, almost like bar room, lots of tables sort of spread out, a few little corners where there's like some booths set off to the side. And then about 50 feet back from you guys into that space is this sort of raised up, almost slight dais of an event area where it looks like Lady Bane and her gaggle are.
So are we like hidden from view from them at all by the balcony, like floor and area, or can we clearly see them and they can clearly see us?
Probably from the little bit of raise they have a good look at everyone, but I wouldn't say you guys would stand out more so than anyone. Again, it's about half capacity in here at the moment, so once it gets filled up, I mean, you would imagine you guys would blend in just like anyone else as you kind of sort of look over, maybe thankful all you guys did your Rakdos makeover.
Cool.
Because again, there would be some Rakdos folk here, some people with some other like color variations, some people not wearing anything, looking much more standard, basic, not having any of these pronounced colors like most individuals wear in Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
does the Chimera platter perhaps say how many people it feeds?
It does not, but you would wager, especially knowing what a Chimera is, has to be some combination of ram, dragon, and what's the last head? Shit.
Lion?
Lion.
Tiger?
Yeah. Tiger.
I guess that
or
one could be a
lion.
little interchangeable.
Yeah.
Some sort of feline.
So you would assume it's a platter of those three because it is fairly expensive looking at like when compared to the other entrees.
I wonder if it's actually from a Chimera. Or if they just got those three meats.
Using the sending stone, Brett would ask if like Elodie and Gale think that they can reach the center stage.
Elodie gives a big nod, like,
yeah, it's 120 feet.
We got me and Gale have been practicing for all day. Basically, it feels like we're so good.
Awesome.
I mean, I wasn't really able to practice that spell today exactly. Gotta conserve my energy, but
I mean, it's fair. I mean, it makes sense. I think we talked about me going first, right? Since I have the least amount of attempts.
Sure,
I can only give this 2 shots, and then I'm almost useless to us for the day. Well, after a short rest, I guess I'm good. But until then, it's Cantrip City.
maybe you do the first one, and then we'll like save your other one, just in case. give me a couple goes, since we don't want to have you blow everything,
That's fair. And I'll give you any feedback after I try.
Also, I'm gonna order a chimera platter when she gets back, so everyone can kind of just dig at that.
Yeah, sounds good to me, I guess.
We let Liliana know we're coming tonight, right?
I believe
Like,
so.
we
I
told
think
her,
you guys. You think you guys talked about it like yesterday, like 24 hours ago, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's, or I guess technically 36 hours ago. You guys let her know, hey, we got tickets. This is the plan. We're gonna try this. Hopefully it goes fine. But if not, we'll have an attempt.
I think
Okay.
Brett will go ahead and let her know that we're here.
Smart.
With your sending spell,
Oh wait.
Yeah.
it does have verbal or is it just verbal components, or is there somatic components with sending?
Yeah.
They're somatic. I think it has all three.
It's all three.
It does have all three. So you would know that you kind of have to do a little casting unless you have something else to, like, whatever it is Aelity and Gale have. I can't remember what that is.
Yeah.
Subtle spell.
Subtle
Yeah.
spell.
I mean, Brett doesn't have subtle spell, but is it that unusual to see someone like cast a spell in public like this?
I mean, you tell me. I'm just letting you know that's something that Brett has to do. It's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't think to do it outside, so I feel like he wants to let her know.
Is there maybe a bathroom?
I guess he could do that, but then it's easier for people to like overhear what he's saying.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, do we have to let her know? I mean, we already told her that we're gonna be here.
It's whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
That's
I
your
mean, it's
call.
up to Brett. I would imagine they were just like, "Hey, we'll see you tomorrow." Then, I mean, what is she gonna do?
I mean, just give her a heads up, a reminder, like as soon as you feel that any freedom,
That's true.
GTFO.
Yeah, I mean, if Brett wants to, then I would help try to make it somewhat discreet. As possible, like stand and kind of just be next to or like look at him, so it's kind of like we're talking. And he's talking with his hands.
I think with the little group help to obfuscate, Brett maybe ducking down a little. And again, it's only 50% capacity, so it's not too crowded in here just yet. Easy enough to pull off a quick sending with the group's help. What's our message to Liliana?
Let me type it out.
Do you think the Chimera is real Chimera? It's 3 different animals.
Find freedom. Let go. Also, have you by chance seen a chimera back there? Are they really?
I kind of want the dragon steak. How often is that gonna pop up?
I thought about that first, but then I was like, I saw the chimera platter, and I was like, well, there's dragon in there.
It's not the same. It's like tainted from the other meats. That's what I've heard.
Oh, come on.
That's what I've heard.
It may not even be real chimera, so it's just dragon meat.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Dragon meat's more expensive. Chimera? He has no
Yeah, that's
idea.
why this is 15 gold.
Dude, it's 5 per animal. You're getting ripped off.
Yeah, you're getting a deal.
What's on the blood menu? Like, is it just kind of like fucked up?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get an insight of like what it was serving. Like,
how expensive is it?
I don't have a handout for that one.
That's fine. I just asked for the menu, so it's like
it would be pretty straightforward as you like look in through it. It's basically like you would pay essentially about 5 silver, ranging from that to about maybe a gold for various different types of like humanoid blood. There'd be a couple of beasts like kind of exotic, like there would be dragon, and there would actually be chimera. But other than that, it's just like a list of like Furbolg, Herringon, Alfolk. And it's just weird to see like, okay, so half-orc blood is cheaper than gnome blood. Interesting.
Where's primordial blood on that? Just curious. Is that even like a thing?
It would be up there next to angelic. Those would be two of the more expensive ones. Along
We
with
better watch our back,
changeling,
Marius.
funny enough.
Simic.
Oh,
is
shit.
Celestial blood's up there. Okay. No, no Simic.
No mention of a Simic hybrid or anything of the such.
Looks like
Okay,
I'm-
well,
You're
I
just like,
needed-
am I on the menu?
Maybe
Yeah.
they don't want to drink my blood. Damn
Why are
it.
you guys better than I?
I just haven't
Embarrassing.
tasted it yet.
I mean,
Hang
I've
on,
always known I'm
kids.
cream of the crop.
Oh god. Okay. Well, I just
have
want
the
to
message, by the
know
way.
what kind of monsters they were.
And it's all by glass. You would also notice that there's no like pitcher
Yeah.
or bottle or anything like that advertised.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
figured
cheap.
it would be by the glass.
What was the message, Brett?
Okay, the message is we're here. Pay attention to the caller and get out as soon as possible. We're to your right of the stage. Don't look for us.
Oh man! Every time you say "don't look," they look.
Wait, was that stage right or?
Yeah.
Her right. I said you're right.
She's like, I'm right about what?
You guys you'd be as to her left.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, he would have said the right thing. It's just me.
I mean, from your guys' point of view, it is right. So I mean, it is, yeah, obviously. But yeah,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, stage
Okay.
right.
No, we're fine. We sent the message. We let her know it's like.
but yeah, keep her up to. There would be a pretty quick response. Excellent. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. That would be her message.
Got it.
I'm screaming on the inside.
Well, and so it doesn't look like they have any work.
No,
in
we're
place
ready.
Either.
So far so good.
I mean, no.
I mean, that's part of my thinking. I was wondering if he'd be able to cast this spell.
I could do a detect magic. That's not something
Nah.
that would eat up necessarily, because like I have a
Use your primer.
couple. Yeah, I could burn a sorcery point and be okay to still do dispel magic subtly. And yeah, I still have detect magic up from earlier in the day. I couldn't change it.
How long does detect magic last? It's only like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's only like 10 minutes. The issue is more, it's only 30 feet. So I can't see super far. So if we're not that
See if
close
they
to
have
the
any
stage,
board placed on
then
the stage. Well, yeah, that's right. But I thought we were close enough.
yeah, but if I'm not close enough,
Where's the primer?
we're definitely close enough for dispel magic. I don't know if we're like we're not like 30 feet away, are we?
We're 20
Uh,
feet from the edge of the stage.
Yeah, so
Oh.
like 30 feet. I mean, you think 30 feet, you could probably get most of the stage.
Okay.
What?
It's a little obfuscated. Again, there's like the curtains are like partially closed, partially open, just sort of revealing the dark stage behind the curtains.
For some reason I thought we were like over 40 feet.
Yeah, you guys are
There it
pretty
is.
close. You're pretty close.
I mean, yeah, I could do that then.
I have a question on the primer. If I pick a spell and use the primer for its like one free casting, can I cast it normally using a spell slot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I can still, because
Yeah,
I
you can
used
still
it
use
earlier to detect magic. So okay,
Yeah,
so I can.
I've already burned my primer spell slot, but I could burn a level 1 spell on detect magic and
I could
that's not
too.
going to affect any of the stuff we need to do tonight.
What was I gonna use? Because I have subtle spell.
You were going to use it to guidance me. Hopefully,
Subtle spell
that was
guidance?
at least that's what we had talked about previously. I don't know if there was something else, because there
Yeah.
are like components for that, right?
It's verbal and somatic. Yeah. Wait, same thing? No,
Are there?
I'm looking.
I feel like there's something.
Yeah,
At least
verbal and
verbal.
somatic. But yeah, I could subtle spell. Subtle spell 1 or 2 points.
I think subtle
Sorry, I'm
spell is
looking.
1.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I'm
only one
thinking out
sorcery
loud.
point.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But
So
you only have 2 points, right?
I have 5.
Ailey
Oh,
has
okay.
2.
Yeah, because I went 3 levels and then I took the magic adept for the little extra.
Okay, so you've got a little bit to burn.
So I have 4. So I could do 4 subtle spells. So
I only need 5 of my points to save for dispel magic, so I still have 4 points to burn. I have 9 total.
I'll use the stone to communicate it, but when this show starts, I think I'll walk close to the stage. I don't know.
Yeah, is
It's
there
kinda like an
anybody
open
venturing away
floor.
from their tables?
There's like some open spaces. It's not like super tight. And especially now, I mean, it's pretty easy to get to the front. When this place is fully packed, I mean, you think you should be able to get to the front because there's not a lot of standing room. Yeah, the only real standing room would be at those like sort of predefined little standing, like floating tables. These little like more elongated little freestanding bars. They're just sort of positioned about.
Okay, so then through the sending stone, maybe when the show starts, I'll use detect magic and get closer to the stage just to make sure there's no wards.
You don't
If it's
think
all
that'll
clear.
catch anyone's attention?
Well, I mean, like people, I assume would move about and go closer. We'll read the room if nobody seems to move. But I mean,
I mean, she did say at points like people would throw stuff at her, right?
yeah, and we're like 20 feet away.
Yeah, you guys are your table's about 20 feet away from the actual
Oh.
stage.
Well, then I could at least just see the edge of the stage, right? Because I'd imagine that's where they put wards. I don't think I'd have to get much closer.
They do like raise her up, so there could be a chance that like her platform specifically is warded.
Warded.
Yeah. So maybe we should save this till like her show is starting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Which is why I'm concerned it'll catch attention.
But well, we'll read it. If people actually seem to like move closer to the stage when she appears, then obviously. And if people don't, then we'll just stay put and see what happens. Can I die?
I mean, yeah, there is always the chance people could throw stuff from their seats.
I need to figure out how I have these. Okay.
Figure out what?
I keep clicking on like the wrong skill thing. So I'm just because there's Font to Magic, which gives you your point breakdown, and then your Meta Magic, which you can cast. And I keep clicking the wrong one. Sorry, it's my own internal struggle. I was trying to. No. Okay, never mind. I was trying to think of. Isn't there like Far Spell? But I don't know if that would apply to.
Oh yeah, there's like extended spell or
Yeah,
whatever it's
but-
called.
There is one that can double the distance.
I don't know if that would apply for them. But anyway, I was trying to see if I had it, but I don't. So neither here nor there.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, after some debate, I guess the standing plan would be if people move up when she appears, he'll kind of move up for a closer look. I'll do it regardless when she pops up, because at least we'll have the edge of the stage.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll say 5 minutes begins to pass. Brenthil coming back with these small goblets of water for everyone, putting down one for each of you. All right. Did we figure out what we wanted to eat? Get our order placed. It's all made to order, obviously, so it may take 10, 15 minutes for it to get done, depending on what you get.
Oh, it's fine. It's gonna be a long show anyway.
I did want to get a chimera platter for us to share.
You know what? I'm gonna get a dragon steak. Anybody can try it.
Excellent. Hey, those are two great options. Do you want me to take the menus? You want to hold on? Again, you can do food service basically right up until the performance actually starts. Then we stop taking orders.
Look at that. I can change my mind. Can I do the phoenix wings instead of the dragon steak? Yeah.
Oh, those are my favorite. Are you good with spice? They're pretty hot.
That's what I was hoping for. And he's actually really never had anything spicy in his life.
Oh my god.
He's just really feeling it.
You would. Okay. All right. So we got some deep fried phoenix wings, and we're going to get that chimera platter. Any drinks for anyone? Anything you want to snack on?
Yeah, we got waters. She brought those.
Let's get
just
a
like a
picture
water.
of Quench.
Oh,
Quench.
I mean that is a local favorite. I mean, I'm personally more of a Boros buster, but Quench is awfully tasty.
You guys got
Well, how do you think they compare?
Well, I mean, Quench is just a little citrusy. Not a big fan of Boros buster. It's a little more, a little more like a cinnamon. A little sweet, a little pop to it. Quench has a little bite, at least for me.
Well, I don't know. I'll take your recommendation. Let's try that Boros Buster.
Excellent Boros buster. Anything else?
I'll have a infused ginny teeny.
Oh my, I like it. Good taste.
Costs 4 gold to spell slot.
So go ahead and take off your monies, those that order. We'll just do it as we go. So, of course, it's just being collected.
So where we're sitting, there's 2 big double steel doors.
There aren't any doors nearby you guys. Those doors you sort of entered from, you basically would go by the stairs right by you. Because again, you guys are parked like right by, if you're facing the stage, what would be the right stairs. You guys are seated right by those stairs. So you would head up those and then cover maybe about 60, 70 feet of sort of that open illusionary dance floor space to get back to those, kind of wrought iron doors you guys entered from that little waiting room.
And do I see any windows or anything?
No, you would sort of look about this place as very much like a casino, not a window in sight.
So pretty much the only way out is back the way we came.
That's the vibe at the moment. You did see there were a couple other doors and such. You would assume they would lead back to kind of those employee only areas, but they weren't illicitly marked off, but the doors were all shut.
Gail would use a platinum in her payment and also add an extra gold for her.
Are you trying to get robbed? Just kidding. I just got the wings right. Yeah, tingle.
It's the wings.
This feels like an establishment where it's appropriate to pay with platinum.
Right. It's. You see the eagle egg omelet?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little unpatriotic, but okay.
Eating it? Is that patriotic?
I'll take one of them freedom omelets. Whenever Ravnica, you do it, let's give her a glass of blood.
While everyone's ordering, can I just check no one's watching us in a weird way?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Giving a once over as Brenthil's taking down everyone's orders.
Okay, my boy's paying attention.
You do a once over of the room. Everyone else at the sort of, tables much like your own, everyone's keeping to themselves. Small groups. No real individuals down here, at least not yet. There were some loners upstairs on the dance floor sort of section, but a lot of groups, a lot of pairs down here. Looking back at that sort of head table that's sort of propped up a little bit of a height advantage, looking almost over. You would see Lady Opeth Bane and her various other socialites probably like standing up at their table and just sort of mingling amongst each other, each of them having their own glass of that dark red blood, each of them partaking and just kind of being obnoxious. You would probably see that sort of off to the side of the table, there are like a small stack of what looks like presents, all wrapped in various wrapping papers and bows, but just in a nice little pile off to the side of the table.
We have to get those presents.
Got a store again.
This is turning into a robbery. Nice.
You guys are
We gotta
multitaskers. I love this.
I mean, if shit went south and we had to run out of here,
Have fun.
then like it wouldn't be the worst thing to maybe if you could easily grab something from there.
This is
Let me
gonna be a
go.
bunch of dumb shit.
We could
Expensive
pawn
dumb
later.
shit.
Yeah.
More
The
money.
best kind of dumb shit.
But no one's watching us, sounds like. Not that Brett can notice.
No, you're doing a once over. You could see that there are a few servers going about to various tables. You would see like it looks like a few they don't look like servers at all. One of them would almost have very similar or like blue-white robes, and they would be walking over this platter to a table. And as soon as they place the platter down, what looks like this hobgoblin would lift up an axe and just chop off this robed figure's hand, and they would non-react, just stand up, leaving their hand behind, and would turn away after dropping off their dish. The illusionary hand looking real and bleeding for a moment before dissolving, and the figure just heading back up to that top floor area.
Why are they into this?
Lovely.
They must have paid for full service.
I don't know if it's music, but I'm kind of into it. We should get some blood from one of those murder servants. Or not.
As you guys get your orders placed, doing a once over, Brenthil heading up to get that put in.
Oh,
We'll
great.
take a break right there.
Yeah, this place
Not gonna
fucking
lie,
sucks,
I want
dude.
out of this place so bad. Oh,
Right?
I feel so uncomfortable. It's not even real.
I feel like Gail's almost so awestruck with how reverse side of the coin this is that she's like almost slightly out of body with this experience of she's just like, we just gotta get through dinner. Like, you know, like, she's
not
just going
become
through the
dinner.
motions of like, as long as I know the script, just get through
I gotta
it.
go potty, I'll be back.
Same. Oh, here, let me stuff Greg.